because of it.
Okay, the race has started. Unfortunately, that guy
boy.
couldn't make it due to the issues he was having. But here we go.
No. All right, good luck to our racers.
Who's
Let's
your
see
money
where
on?
they go. So we have Gerdo, Zero Rush, Toso, and Problems in Real Life. All very good runners, and make sure you give them a follow after this race. We already have our first stock done in the SRL. All right, everyone. No, Zero Rush starts in Link's house.
Yes, that's my strategy too. Wow, a sword in Link's house was that?
That's really nice.
Sword in Link's house.
Right away, he could actually go through escape if he really wanted to. And I see Gerdo's heading right from Sanctuary.
He might be doing fake flippers to get some rupees. Not fake flippers, sorry. Houlihan? Like flipperless Houlihan? Yeah, it looks like he's setting up for that. And then Problem's doing the kind of the classic route, where he's going to do the pool tree, check the bush crab, check what Aghanim lumberjack item is, and then head to Kakariko.
Nice, and it looks like Uncle gave Quake.
And then we've actually got Tudge going to the dam early, so he's got some early bombs. We might see him head over to Mini Moldom Cave.
Green Knight dropping the 8 bomb packs, so Zero Rush can pretty much go anywhere. I mean, it looks like everyone has at least some bombs, but that's because Sanctuary gave them. Okay.
Yeah. So kind of the two most important things for open mode is you want to find bombs early and either on your way to Kakariko so that you can clear out everything there. And then you want to at least have rupees to buy them. And then the other really important thing is finding a sword, both of which all of our runners have found within the first, like, 60 seconds.
Well, when it's sitting in Link's house, you can't really pass that up.
Yeah, exactly.
But as I mentioned before, I mean, sword could have been anywhere, and there's so many locations over in town that you can get to that you only need bombs, and the randomizer itself doesn't have any kind of requirement for rupees or anything. So right away, it could just place it, even though it needs bombs. It assumes you can get bombs.
Did you manage to check what the item was at Lumberjack?
I missed it. It's going to be a little hard for us.
Yeah.
To follow.
So Bottle at the maze game, so they can access. It could be interesting to see what he has.
Lumberjack, they saying it was a red rupee. Luckily, our viewers are paying attention.
So our viewers can be our trackers. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Don't let us down, chat.
Toso already over at the ice cave. Now we haven't seen any fake flippers yet. Maybe Toso will do so after ice cave here. It's just a blue rupee though.
No, he's choosing to save quit. If he doesn't, then it's not too good of a move to do the fake flippers there, due to the new chests which are in the Waterfall Fairy Cave, which are new from the previous tournament. We will no doubt see those pretty soon.
Right.
So it looks like all of our runners are finding bow, just sitting in. So that's a real good weapon to find early.
Now, I'm not sure if anyone has looked at the map yet. I'd be curious to see if Eastern is required. So bow is one of the items that it gets you access to beating Eastern, and it also gives you access to a couple of chests and beating Palace of Darkness. And of course, you need it to beat the game in Ganon's Tower. So it's a nice item to have, especially early on, so you don't have to like struggle and find it.
So we had Zero Rush, just had a look at the menu there. I believe the Eastern and Desert were both pendants.
Oh, that's a tough call then, if you want to go do a pendant dungeon. Now, I feel like because of distribution with the new algorithm, pendant dungeons can be worth checking out, especially if it happens to be a dungeon that has a lot of items, something like pod or swamp, because the randomizer might just place items in there.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen a big increase in the amount of items going into dungeons compared to previous versions. And I think you'll see these runners prioritizing going into dungeons, as you said, even if they're pendants, compared to kind of the strategy before, which was just doing quite a thorough search of all the overworld locations. It leads to some interesting situations where you might have to gamble between like 3 or 4 different dungeons, or searching more of the overworld when you don't necessarily have the items to beat any of those dungeons.
So far we've seen bow, we've seen fighter sword, we've had a bottle, but it doesn't really lead to anything from the sick kid. Shovel, that's a good point, we have seen shovel.
Not sure seen a boomerang as well, I saw somewhere. Things will really probably start to diverge after all the kind of early game locations have been cleaned up.
Yeah, these are all very easy, quick locations you can check. There's a lot of items here. You get it over with in the beginning. I'm sort of curious if we're going to see how many of our runners that we're actually showing here are going to decide to go into Eastern since they have bow, or if people are going to check other things. There's a bunch of chests in Escape. Now, they haven't gotten a glove yet, so it's a bit of a hike through Escape if they want to check everything. But there's, what, 6 items? There's like 6 items in Escape, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not actually sure. I've never really bothered to count that one. You want, like, the idea was to find gloves first, so that you can check the back 3 really quickly.
Yeah.
And then go in through the front. I think we might see Gerda going into Escape after he speaks to Uncle here. I think he's exhausted everything else at this point.
Quake, that's right. We also saw Quake, because Uncle, for whatever reason, was holding on to Quake. And then he realized he couldn't use it.
Because he'd given up his sword. He left it in his house.
Wow, okay, problems just getting his fighter sword because he hasn't been to Link's house yet. But now he can continue down towards the mini Moldorm Cave. That's one of the places I like to have sword, although there's a number of items. And you learn this in open. There's a number of items that can kill enemies efficiently. So I know when I'm running, I try to think, okay, can I do mini Moldorm? Can I do the rooms in Escape that require you to kill enemies? Because you need to make sure you have something if you want to check those.
Yeah, it definitely won't be uncommon to see people clearing out rooms and enemies with just bombs in some of the future races, because the sword can be so tucked away, or like Canis and Maria, hookshot, like weapons you normally wouldn't use suddenly become amazing.
Yep.
So yeah, Gerdo is the first one to really do something different here, heading into Escape. I think, based on where they are on the map now, Problems might choose to do fake flippers and check those items.
So Gerdo just picked up the lamp, and that's really nice to have. All of the dark rooms, because of open, all of the dark rooms in the castle are dark, so you cannot see if you're missing the lamp. So the fact that he picked up the lamp, that means he could easily do it. Now, he might know how to do it in the dark already, but it's just nice to have, and that way you don't have to worry about doing these rooms in the dark.
I actually can't remember if version 18 still had the automatic light cone in the light world or not.
It just had... I don't know about version 18, because I feel like we changed it more recently. But I know they dropped all the rooms but the ones in Escape for standard, and then open, of course, just completely removed it. People are having audio issues.
So Gerdo, he just got another bottle, and he's setting up a death warp here to go back to the beginning of Castle. And because he has the lamp now, he's going to go through the throne room and clear out sewers.
So that's a nice trick you can do in open. Normally in standard, you have Zelda. So if you were to die, you'd start at Zelda's cell. So you couldn't just do a death warp. So it's really nice to be able to do that if you don't have mirror.
And here you can see one of the changes for open specifically. The throne blocking the doorway there is always open. So you can always access sewers from this direction.
So aside from the 6 chests, also in Escape, there's a map and there's a small key. Now, there's no guarantee that the small key will be before the locked door in Escape, because you could end up getting gloves later on. I apologize for my phone.
Maybe they'll tell you where gloves are.
Yeah. So yeah, because you could get small glove, but here in this case it was a small key. But it's not guaranteed to be a small key, is my point. It could be in the back half.
Right, and that's exactly why you want to check the back half first, so you don't get key locked there.
But we could have a situation where the back half happens to have gloves, and it actually requires you to go through this long path just to get to them.
So we've got Problems and Zero Rush both in Fake Flippers at the moment, both heading over to Hobo. The island is just 50 rupees, so... Ooh, okay, Gerdo finding Moonpearl.
That's nice.
I imagine that's going to send him straight over to set up Fake Flippers as well now. Touchstone following behind.
Moonpearl's one of the biggest blocks for anytime you're doing rando. It's one of the major roadblocks for progressing, because it's half the game, and there's actually a lot more items in dungeons in the Dark World. So being able to get there, and of course there's 7 dungeons compared to 3. You want to be able to get to Dark World, and Moonpearl is one of the steps. Now, you also either you need gloves and hammer, or you need Titan's mitts. So you need one of those two, or you have to go kill Ganon to access the Dark World.
It's hard to say which one we're going to get. I'm going to put my money on Ganon at this point. We have no hammer or gloves still, and we have the lamp already with the level 1 sword. So one more sword upgrade, and then Ganon is suddenly open to us.
And that would be an interesting call. That's about 3 minutes just to go kill Ganon. It's a tough call to make if you're not really... If you have a few places to check. I know one of the locations people tend to miss is that one over a desert, just because it's one thing. But I've actually seen that be a required item before. So it's like, do you go over to desert and check that item before you go kill Ganon?
Yeah, you have to make some tough decisions with how the logic is now. So Gerdo going to Eastern is a pretty good play, I think. He has the bow, he has the lamp, so all the locations in here are open. I've seen a few people in chat asking what this is, and what shuffle this is. So this isn't the entrance randomizer tournament. This is the first qualifier race of the second kind of quote-unquote standard randomizer tournament. It's actually being played in open mode, and what that means is the initial start of the game has already been completed, so the usual escape sequence where you rescue Zelda is already done. Zelda's already in Sanctuary. And you start the game in the save and quit menu, and you can spawn either at Link's house or the Sanctuary. And one big change is that you're not guaranteed to get a sword. We actually had one in Link's house, but that's pretty rare.
That's rare,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. So those are kind of the main differences between standard mode and open mode.
And this is, as you mentioned, the first qualifier match of our tournament. There's going to be 5 of them this week, counting this one, throughout the week. So what we have, like, one tomorrow. I know there's one on... Oh, there's 2 tomorrow. Sorry, there's 2 qualifiers tomorrow. One early in the morning for the US, and of course one later on. One on Wednesday, one on Friday, and then after that, you know, we start the tournament next week.
Yeah, first round of the Swiss kicking off next Monday.
So I don't think Gerdo has gotten anything good yet in Eastern. I might have missed one of the chests, but...
So far I've seen 10 arrows.
That's good.
Actually, one thing we haven't mentioned is the sprite choices that we have right now.
Oh, so many sprite choices now. We got a couple of classic
over
ones.
30 now. I think there's 30 different characters you can choose. So Problems is the frog from Chrono Trigger, right?
Yep.
I've forgotten his name.
Frog.
Oh, it's just Frog.
Yeah. And then what is Tozo? It looks sort of like Tingle, but not really. I can't tell.
I have no idea who that sprite is, honestly.
They just keep adding. It's like, well, that's a sprite.
One of my favorites, well, my absolute favorite, is Roy Cooper from Super Mario World. The color spell changes when you get the mail upgrades.
Oh, I actually haven't seen that one yet. New to this tournament, though, is that these sprites, as you can see, they're legal to play as. I know last tournament they were not allowed, and of course they've since added it into the randomizer itself. So you'll be seeing a lot of people playing as their favorite sprites. And
if you really want a challenge, you can play with an invisible sprite.
Oh my gosh, yes! Oh. Alright, it looks like Gerdo's doing a little more farming here. Getting up to those 500 rupees. Now, one of the locations, I think we mentioned this, the Waterfall Ferry right outside of Zora has 2 chests. Now, the interesting thing, aside from that being a location now that you can check, is that you can fake flipper to get into that cave. However, the game does a certain check. You need Moon Pearl if you want to fake flipper into that Waterfall Ferry room. So the fact that, you know, Gerdo has Moon Pearl means he could do that once he hits 500 rupees, and he could do that whole check up there. And he might be setting himself to do that.
Yeah, that's right. Just to clarify that, you can still fake flipper into the waterfall even without the Moon Pearl, but you won't be able to do anything in there because you'll just continue swimming. However, if you have the Moon Pearl, it leads to kind of a second minor glitch called water.
Oh no, your call. It's coming true. They just got the Master Sword.
I think we're gonna see Ganon right away. Yeah.
So what do we have left? So technically, fake flippering over to the Zora area is not. That's not what the randomizer expects you to do, because you need either flippers or the glove to get over there. And including the Waterfall Ferry itself, you need flippers by the logic. So the randomizer might actually expect you to do Aghanim at this point.
I think so, yeah. It looks like Gerdo might try the fake flipper stuff. Oh, he hasn't done any of the South Loop yet, actually.
Oh, wow. That's actually really nice, then, if he could do the whole South and continue with fake flippering. Flippers on Pyramid? It could be. In which case, fake flippers would be huge. So, if I recall correctly, the way the new algorithm places things, it sort of places them backwards. So, it'll have all the locations open first, place an item, and then sort of like restrict things backwards, if I got it right.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So until kind of the latest 2 versions, we always started from the beginning. So we place an item, see what opened up, and then like we have our new set of locations, the next item gets placed, etc. But we do the reverse now. So we place an item in a certain location, which means it could be Ganon's Tower, it could be Total Rock, like Maya. Some of the later dungeons could get like an item like Hookshot or Hammer, or something which you'd usually expect to find early. And then anything that requires that item gets closed off, and then things get placed earlier and earlier. It means every item has like optimal or maximum item reach. And you can see some really interesting and sometimes trolly distributions.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Like, it plays extremely different to previous versions of the logic.
I mean, it seems pretty good.
Sort of identify where to go. Yeah, it's like, I really enjoy it. It's certainly the most random it has been.
Yeah, we used to the other algorithms would front load the items. It would constantly look at town like over and over again, so you would just get so many things there. And now it's like, who knows?
Exactly.
So it looks like Gerdo is going to go up to Ice Cave first, and he might backtrack to do fake flippers after this. I'm not sure. We'll see. And it's actually interesting. All 3 of our other runners are in Eastern right now. And, once Gerdo's actually finished up here, they're going to be finishing up their respective dungeons. So everyone's about even at this point. It's still too early to say if anyone's in the lead. So, from the qualifying races, we'll have 87 people move forward into the tournament. Right now, there's 150 people have signed up. So, Maybe about this we'll be playing, maybe more for the qualifiers, and only 87 will move forward. But we will have a another tournament as well for the everyone who doesn't make it.
Exactly. Anyone not in the top 100 can still enter kind of an overflow tournament. Like the main difference is that it's not going to be restreamed for the most part on SpeedGaming, just because simply there's not enough time to do that. It's going to be like a separate bracket. But I think we've got a command we can use in chat with all the information. Or I can just link to the document with everything.
Yeah, so 87 is just because 13 people from the top 16 have signed up for the tournament. 3 people have declined. Alright, so it looks like Tozo's heading over to Desert, so he's making that call rather than heading over to fight Aghanim.
Yeah, I don't blame him for that. Like, it can be really tough to decide what you want to do. For example, if he was to get, like, Flute right now, that would give him Death Mountain access to a couple of items. So there's still a slim chance of Aghanim not being required.
It's a quick check, it's just... You are walking, especially without boost, you are walking a far way just to check one item.
So here we're going to see Gerdo doing the walk on water.
Okay.
So we saw him fake flipper into the waterfall cave, and because he has the moon curl when he leaves, but when he leaves, he's going to just be standing instead of swimming. So he can just go right back inside, and he finds a glove.
Oh my god!
Samaria.
That's huge. The gloves doesn't actually give him Dark World access just yet. He needs Hammer or another glove.
Right. But the glove does open some more locations. The other people
he can go up to Death Mountain.
So that's an example of a sequence break of the logic there. So this could be absolutely huge for him. Meanwhile, we've got Zero Rush just going through Aga's Tower, starting off here.
He's just making a call.
Yeah, Todge is just following behind in his footsteps.
Wow, the glove and cane waterfall fairy huge. And a sword, which will make everything else easier in this game.
Wow.
Alright, yeah, Tojo going into Ganon's Tower. It looks like Problem's also doing the same call. But Gerdo with the sequence break. Where is he gonna go with? Oh, he's checking Shovel first, and then we'll see where he decides to go with his new shiny gloves. I imagine
he will climb Death Mountain.
Oh yeah.
So although this could be a double-edged sword for him.
Yeah.
Like he's going to spend a lot more time now checking kind of some of these locations, and if he doesn't find another glove upgrade or the hammer, he's going to have to go and do Aghanim anyway. And it gives the other 3 and potentially other people in the race kind of earlier Dark World access. Mm-hmm. That being said, he has just found 2 very, very good and probably required items. We don't know yet if Samaria is required.
Well, glove is always required.
Yeah, right.
So, no matter what, all of our runners will have to go to the waterfall fairy if they actually want to finish.
Always advised.
But there's only 2 items that Gerdo will be able to get up at Death Mountain. So if he doesn't get Hookshot or Hammer or Mirror, like, that's it. He gets 2 items, he can see what's on Spectacle Rock, and then he's once again going to have to make the call. And I think at this point, as far as we know, Aghanim's required.
Yes.
Because we already checked at Aegina's Cave, so yeah. Aghanim required seed. Welcome to version 26, all. Typically, you kill Aghanim for Dark World access, not for his item.
It's just over a third. So there's like, obviously 3 different ways to get there, with the mitts, the hammer, and the gloves for Aghanim. And it's about 37-38% of the time you have to kill Aghanim. Just because there's a few more items which can get you through the tower. There's more than 1 sword upgrade, and there's also the cape.
Oh my gosh! Hookshot from the old man! What a sequence break. That's, oh my god. If he gets gloves anywhere up here, like, he's gonna be way ahead of everyone else. Because he will not have to kill Aghanim, but everyone else is killing Aghanim. What a seed for the first qualifier.
If not, then this is going to be a lot of time spent checking these locations now. Whereas, for example, it could be boots on pyramid, and then everybody else can do all of this stuff later, but much quicker. So it's still hard to tell how easy it's going to be. If he gets to skip Aghanim, then yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we're about to see right now what Aghanim actually gives. Now, they can also go into Palace of Darkness just to check it out. They have bow, they have lamp, so they can get most of the items in Palace of Darkness. So that could be where they're actually supposed to go. But I have a feeling we're going to see Flipper somewhere.
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, here we go. And we'll see if Gerdo's gamble plays off.
It's a shield on pyramid.
Oh boy. Well, looks like Zero Rush heading over to Palace of Darkness now. You need 110 rupees to go talk to Kiki, so it's good to go.
Okay, so we have Green Pendant Thieves Town. That's interesting. And then Maya is Turtle Rock, I think it was actually. Sorry, is one of the Fat Fairy crystals.
So Gerdo has found Ether.
Yeah, I missed the cave actually. It was just Ether that was useful from Death Mountain Caves.
Now he still has to check Spiral Cave, but that's about it. Okay. Is there anything else? So technically Gloves unlock Zora, but he's already checked Zora. He did Death Mountain. There's not really much else.
The thing is, now that he has Hookshot, I imagine where you see everybody else going to Palace of Darkness, he will probably go straight up to the Hookshot point in the overworld after Pyramid and start exploring.
Right, because he can just go right over to the other side.
So depending on what's in Pod, that could hurt or hinder him. We will find out.
So we're going to take they're computing an average value based on how people finish. You know, what the average time of the race is and what the standard deviation between everyone is. And they use that to sort of calculate a point value, and the top 87 people will move on to the qualifiers.
Ooh,
or to the tournament.
Fire Rod? Yeah.
It doesn't unlock anything, though. But it's good to have.
Yeah,
it's good to have.
He has 4 really, really good items. Gloves, Cane of Samaria, Hookshot, Fire Rod. And one Ether is pretty good too. So even though he's behind, like, in terms of progress, and now we know that he's going to have to do Aghanim, like, he had less places to search for those items, so it might take the other people quite a long time to search.
And chances are people are going to go up there anyway. I mean, it's a common location. With Fire Rod being up there and Turtle Rock required and Skull Woods, I think. What was the pendant dungeon? Oh, Thieves. So, with them being required, Fire Rod is nice. Like, Gerdo's going to be able, like you mentioned, once he gets in the Dark World, he'll be able to
yeah, I was thinking more about Waterfall Cave. Because if people don't find flippers, then I don't know how quickly they will go over to that cave, depending on what they find here. If they find Hammer, for example, they're probably just going to go straight to, like, Hype Cave or Swamp Palace, potentially.
Oh, they can't do Swamp without Mirror.
Or the flippers, which is what I was saying.
Or the flippers. That's true. If they don't find flippers, they can go to Swamp.
Not without glitches, anyway. So I think Gerdo's exhausted every location now. So far, nothing in Palace of Darkness? Nothing
He'll be able to get through so fast with Fire Rod, with his Tempered Sword.
Yeah.
So it's Aga required, and then once he does get over, I really hope that we do see a hookshot over to the left-hand side. That would keep it interesting.
Oh, we have our first forfeit.
Oh? Oh no.
Hopefully we don't see
I don't know how open works. I can't type. First forward. We don't have a timer running. about 20. What do we got? About 30 minutes in.
I can just have a look at the race channel. We are 29 minutes in. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have dot entered like you did and dot unentered because now I don't have chat, so I can't check.
I can hold on a second.
Oh, they have it on the stream itself. I see. We don't actually see that on our stream. All right, we got a bomb jump being set up from Zero Rush. Gerdo's making his way through to kill Aghanim. And Problems is heading on up. Wait, when did Problems get a glove? I missed it.
I also missed it, actually. I guess... Well, I'll wait to see if anybody gets another glove in pod. Otherwise, he must have gone to the Waterfall Cave.
Yeah, I know there's no tracker this race just because we have 4 people running. For the actual tournament, when we have, 1v1s, you should see a tracker going. Oh, he fake flippered. Okay, so he did the same thing Gerdo did earlier. He's going to get hookshot and he'll be able to continue on from there.
So unfortunately, a bit of trouble with the hammer jump there. It's rarely useful in Randomizer, but if you have the big key and you need to still full clear the rest of the dungeon, it can be, it's a better path to take. But unfortunately, we didn't get to see that then.
Yeah, we're not sure what sprite Tojo's using. It looks sort of like Tingle to me, but I don't know.
I've seen Bomberman or a Pokemon, apparently. Okay, there you go. It's... I don't even know how you pronounce that. Decidui.
We suspect he just sort of got stuck. It sounded like a newer player that was maybe... Flippers. There's Flippers. So you go through Palace of Darkness. So you kill Aghanim to get Flippers.
Ouch.
But it also to get access to Dark World because... yeah, wow.
Yeah, so I guess they're all gonna kind of...
This is interesting. So, even though Gerdo, did his sequence break, he still has to kill Aghanim, so that way, if he goes into Palace of Darkness, he'll be following everyone else, and then he'll see he gets Flippers, which leads into what he did before. But he could just go north from the pyramid, use the hook shot to get over to the other side. It looks like that's what's required of this seed.
I think so. It's a really fun and kind of unusual path.
Yeah, you don't usually see
it. The game. I think if I was Gedo, I would go straight up there, hookshot across.
Right, there's so many items over there. If you're missing Hammer, you sort of don't want to go into Palace of Darkness. Although Hammer could, of course, be in there, but you're more reluctant to do a dungeon when you can't fully complete it yet.
Yes. I think when everybody sees gloves, Samaria, in Waterfall Cave, they're going to be like, oh no, I wonder which of my opponents did this, and was Aghanim actually required? They're going to start really kind of doubting their play, which can affect how you kind of play through the rest of the seed.
There's Zero Rush picking up his items. Tojo's going to go talk to Zora. He has 500. Now, Zero Rush does not have 500 rupees, so it looks like he just quit right away, but of course, he got the worth. The gloves is what he was hoping for, and now you actually have to go up to Death Mountain to get a hook shot to continue on. Oh my gosh.
So Gerdo's going straight to Palace of Darkness here.
There he is. Which is fine. He'll be able to get most of the items. He'll see Flippers, and that will tell him what else he should do.
Right, but it's kind of going to mean he loses his advantage here, gives everybody else the chance to catch up.
Yep.
It's a shame because he got hookshot from a sequence break, and he has the ability to continue on with his sequence break here by using hookshot as the access. That's why I would have done it, but
so that's
equally,
an interesting call.
You don't want to, if he didn't check pod and everyone else did, and there was mitts or hammer in there or something, he's going to put himself at a disadvantage. So it's hard to balance what you want to do.
He doesn't actually know that this is where he'll get Flippers. He just knows that something of worth will be in here, given his sequence break. But I feel like it's like you said what to do, and these sort of races, it does seem to help if you sequence break and get something useful. You could continue with it, just keep it in the back of your head, because you know, hey, like usually it's flipper sequence break. Hey, flippers is somewhere that I can't normally get to with all these other items. And it sort of helps you reduce where it could be. You can deduce from that.
Yeah, but then equally, sometimes you just want to kind of tie up the loose ends with the logic, so that you know you're at the same place as everybody else. It's a tough call.
That's a good point in chat. Hammer could be at the pedestal. Like, that is completely possible. You have 2 light world dungeons that are pendant, and it's just Thieves, which is one of the easiest dark world dungeons to actually get to. So, pretty much any item that our runners don't have could be at pedestal at this point.
And I saw somebody ask earlier, is this a handpicked seed or a random one? It's just random. It's a randomly generated one.
Did problems go into pod? I'm not sure, but you see, he actually did the hook shot, and he's checking out the left-hand side, which is going to be great for him.
Only with 2 hearts, so anything he gets hit by will kill him now.
And it's such a long walk, so he's not even going to check what's on the ledge, because it's so dangerous with the terror birds, not bats. Murder dactyls, I think we call them.
Yeah, that's a better name for them.
Oh, is he gonna die in Skull Woods? That actually might not be a bad idea, just because it's such a long walk.
Yeah, using that to get some more health would be a pretty good call. Well, he might have a fairy or something, I'm not too sure.
Skullwoods, and Skullwoods I feel like always has worth in this new logic. I don't know why. It's 2 items, but it happens so often. There's one of the items though. Just a piece of heart.
Yeah, Skullwoods is good.
But he can complete it.
Big fan of the early Skullwoods play.
Oh, did he go? Yeah, did he go up to Death Mountain? I think he had to if he has hook shot.
Getting an early big key is also very nice.
Like, although he doesn't have the health to bomb jump.
Yeah, taking the intentional death there makes perfect sense. Zero Rush going through Spiral Cave, he's going to find his Fire Rod. So it's pretty good play from Problems. He's going to complete a Crystal Dungeon and
he's good.
A dungeon which usually has something.
My rule is, if you can fully clear a crystal dungeon, go do it. Like, chances are you're gonna find worth, or... Ooh. Problem's having a little trouble with it's a harder bomb jump to do when you can't dash. You don't have that 6 frame window, I think it is.
It's also difficult when you're a frog, I imagine.
That's true. The sprite is a little different. So Gerda went backwards since he did the bomb jump, but he did get his flippers. He's going to continue clearing the dungeon just in case, Hammer's there for him.
So we see Zero Rush going up now to start exploring more of the Dark World.
So we got our 2 items, Bottle and Piece of Heart in Skullwoods. But once Problem's finished with this dungeon, he can just continue to the Village of Outcasts.
So he just got the Master Sword for Moth, or has he got Tempered?
He has Master Sword because he didn't have enough money.
Yep.
So, but he has Fire Rod, he has half magic, that's not too bad.
Oh, true, I missed that they all got half magic. Oh, except for Zero Rush, actually. Where was half magic?
Half... I just saw someone pick it up, and now I'm drawing a blank as to where it is. Was it in Ice Rod Cave?
Possibly. Oh, it was Aghanor's Cave.
Agina's Cave, that's right. Because I remember them going over there, because we were talking about that was one of the places. Thank you. Alright, so Gerdo notices, since he has flippers, Now he's heading over to Hookshot to the left, but he looks like he's going to check Catfish first, which I don't think Problems did.
He wouldn't have been near Catfish, like, at any other point after this, really. It's painful to head over here, but at the same time, it's the loose end you don't want to come back to haunt you.
I think it's nicer to put this together with checking Zora, but, you know, now with the 2 waterfall chests, and especially given this particular seed, it's just not going to happen. So this is your best chance to go over there before you get boots. Alright, Problems taking on Mafia. We're going to have our first crystal being completed here, if all goes well. Only 6 hearts, though. This has not been a very giving seed, has it?
So 40 minutes in for the first crystal.
Wow! This is unusual.
Yeah.
Alright, so in the Village of Outcasts area itself, there's 3 items that you can get. There's the 4, plus now there's a green pendant at Thieves, so there's a lot of items there. And then they can actually continue south from that point, do Shovel Game, check out Old Stumpy, and of course Hype Cave.
Which is probably more aptly named Wipe Cave now.
What? Sometimes there's hype in there. We'll see. We'll see.
It's rare now. It's usually just some rupees or bombs.
Yeah.
But everyone always goes there pretty quick. Like, the hope. But it's just full of disappointment.
It's 5 items that you could check quickly. Like, I still think it's a valid location to check if you can put it into your route. Alright, Gerdo also heading to Skull Woods, Zero Rush. We just had a Catfish check from Toso.
So I think Problems is looking in pretty good shape. I'm assuming his lead is because he didn't get flippers in pod, right?
Yeah, because he didn't do pod. He just went for the left-hand side. So he's eventually going to have to backtrack to go into pod, but hopefully he'll do it with the hammer and he'll be able to get it done really quick. That's a nice time save for him.
Yeah, like it can't be in Swamp, because obviously you need the flippers for that.
Well, Swamp anyway requires hammer, so...
Yeah, except for
it could be in the first chest.
Yeah. And then Ice Palace, hammer could be in there, potentially. And he could also flick flipper to get through that. So it's going to be a nice time save for him. Assuming he is back with hammer.
So someone in chat mentioned we do have an entrance randomizer mode for this now, which it mixes up the different entrances to houses and to dungeons between themselves. So, you know, you can enter an entrance in Kakariko Village and it takes you to Ice Palace. Like, that could happen. So that's fun. It's a little bit of a pain, but it's fun to do. This is open, so the only difference was you didn't have to go through escape at the beginning. You start out right away in either Link's house or Sanctuary. You don't have to go rescue Zelda. You could get a sword anywhere. That happens to be open to you.
And there's also a swordless variation, which is open, except for the swords are just removed from the game.
That's when hammer becomes your best friend.
Absolutely. So Problems is dived into Pendant Thieves Town here before heading down to more of the Dark World, so our Disappointment Cave and the other things you mentioned.
So the only downside would be is if an item is actually at the big chest here and he doesn't get hammer. So it's like, number one, it's a pendant dungeon. Number two, you're going to have that hanging over your head the whole time. You're gonna be like, was this worth? Do I have to backtrack to come in here to check hammer later on? With hammer.
Yeah, I would probably dive in without the hammer.
It's usually a good call. There's so many items. You're gonna get at least 3 things. It's a green pendant now, which unlocks an additional item.
Yeah, exactly.
There's boots!
Yeah.
Very nice.
So even if there's nothing else in here and boots aren't required, that's really nice anyway.
So of our runners, Problem's the first to pick up boots. Boots is not necessarily required. It really depends on, you know, what desert looks like, what items in like Flanctuary or at the King's Tomb. But hey,
don't forget Ganon's Tower big key.
And yes, the Ganon's Tower on the lamp.
It's possible to get the 7 crystals and go into Ganon's Tower without the boots, and then you see that the big key is sitting on the torch that requires the boots.
Oh,
so you have to either search the entirety of Ganon's Tower looking for them, and potentially leave and go and find out what they are. That's happened a few times. Myths.
Wow.
Also
what a dungeon. Pendant Thieves has 2 decent items in it, and of course one is the required mitts. And that actually makes it very easy. They don't have to do the long walk from Pyramid to get back over here. They can just go to Sanctuary, run on over to town, and take the portal. It also, because they have Hookshot, unlocks Dark World Death Mountain, which has like 6 things up there.
Yeah, they have a lot open to them now. Well, Problems does. And looks like Zero Rush and everybody else will be following shortly after.
I have seen some runners check the first half of Thieves and then leave. But of course, it looks like in this case, Boots and mitts are after that first half of the dungeon. So it's good to see Zero Rush is continuing. And who knows, maybe the Sahashala pendant will actually be worth as well. So what are we still missing? We're still missing Flute. We're missing Mirror. We're missing Ice Rod. And we don't even know what the medallion situation looks like. And we're missing Hammer, of course.
A late Hammer is always good fun, especially if you find mitts, because that opens up a lot of places.
Yeah. And,
Hammer and Ice is always good fun.
Thanks to this new logic, I feel like I've been getting Hammer later and later. It used to be one of the first things you'd usually find, unless you get a really trolly seed. Now, hey, it could be at any time. It's been my go mode item a couple times too, so we'll have to see when our runners find Hammer here.
So another change from version 18, it's only minor, but the digging game is no longer guaranteed on the 15th dig. Instead, it's every seed, and it's the Hammer! Oh my god.
What a find! Hammer and Titan's mitts back to back.
Wow.
Like, most of the map is now open. Mirror would be the other big thing.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But yeah, it's between 0 and 30. And you don't know which number it's going to be, but it's the same for every player on the same seed. That's huge.
Hammer's required since you need it to beat a number of dungeons. So all of our runners will be going there at some point.
This is looking fantastic for Problems now. He has a lot of crystal dungeons he can just go and complete, and he has the boots to do that with.
I have to say, this has been a nice seed overall. For the first qualifier, this is great. Like, this is a nice, somewhat trolly seed. Let's see what Hype Cave gives.
Heart, rupees, and a heart piece.
Oh my! So he could go north right from Hype Cave here, since he has Hammer. Go into Pod, which is what he skipped earlier, and just beat it.
Yeah, I imagine that's what he's gonna do. Honestly. Yeah, it looks like it.
So I would say right now, Problems is slightly ahead. I mean, Gerdo did already go into Pod, and he's going to have to go back at some point. I mean, all of our runners actually did pod but problems, and here he goes like, haha, I got everything and I skipped this dungeon earlier.
So that's the sequence break I thought that Godot was going to do. Like, Problems did what I said earlier, just obviously he did his fake flippers a bit later.
So unfortunately he cannot check his pendant here since he doesn't have mirror. Unless King Helmsar happens to drop mirror. I didn't get an item count when they did pod earlier, so I don't know if there's still one item left.
Yeah, no idea. I couldn't keep up with that.
If we pay attention, King Helmsar cannot drop a small key. So, yeah, we'll see. If we see map and compass, that means King Helmsar has an item. I think he can't. I'm pretty sure he can't drop a small key, because otherwise you'd be key locked.
Yeah, he can't. Meanwhile, Zero Rush not far behind, just about to get his hammer. And then Gerdo and Todge not far apart from each other, both in Thief Town. Now, it'd be interesting to see what the other players do who have already been into Pod, to see if they go back and finish it up, or are they going to head somewhere else? Swamp,
looks like
for example.
Zero Rush might actually. So one of the new changes, we'll see if he does it here. You can grab the dwarf, save and quit to go back to Light World if you don't have mirror, and the dwarf will be following you. So then you can take him home. So that means dwarves and the purple chests are actual possible location for the mirror. And Zero Rush probably decided to do this so he could have checked the hammer pegs on the way. It's just a shield, though.
You might notice that was the same shield we saw in the pyramid. That's because I don't think we even mentioned progressive items yet.
We haven't.
But that's a change from the previous tournament. So all equipment, which includes your swords, your shields, your mail upgrades, and the power gloves and Titan's mitts, they're all progressive, which means you always find the first, like the level 1 sword first, and the next one you find will give you the level 2 sword, etc. Rather than being able to find like gold sword to begin with. And whichever one you pick up first, the other ones will then change. So that's why, because none of our runners picked up the shield on the pyramid, they then found another shield, and it's the same one. And if they went back to the pyramid now, after picking that one up, it would have turned into the fire shield.
And that happened with the gloves. So we happen to see Power Glove actually being required to get Titan's Glove, but that's just because they're both progressive gloves. That Titan that happened to be the first glove, it's just in this case, there was no way to get to it without Power Glove. And same thing with the swords. We've seen all the swords in order, so that's progressive.
So Zero Rush doing the Frog World Tour. Wonder how far he's going to take him.
You can't take him into the... Oh wait, they already unlocked it though. Since they didn't need they already did Kiki. So will he follow you into the dungeon?
No, I think he spits out some kind of... Well, we might find out from Zero Rush, but I think he's going to say something like, I don't like in here, or it's scary. Like, I don't actually know what he's going to say.
Alright, let's find out.
But I think Zero Rush, I could be wrong, I'm not entirely sure, but I don't think you can take the dwarf inside dungeons.
Catfish was not worth. We've had a few of our runners check it already.
So let's see.
I cannot go.
I cannot go with me. That's a good translation.
The message is cryptic, as Vitor says. Flippers was in Dark Maze, which was actually our required our required item to progress in the seed. I shouldn't say it's a progressive item because there are other progressive items. Another Frog World Tour over on Tojo's side. And Zero Rush.
Mistake.
just did his save and quit, and you see he's already in Light World. He went to Sanctuary. He's going to take a look at the dash locations.
Yeah, this must be the premium tour. He's got the King's Tomb, and he's getting the Bunk Rocks.
The premium tour. Man.
Like, he's been following him for a solid, like, 3, 4, 5 minutes now.
Nothing good up there.
Problems finishing up Palace of Darkness here, so we need to keep an eye on what Helmasaur drops.
And Gerdo's right behind him. So you can see our difference here. Gerdo, you know, did his early sequence break. Problem did a little later on. So you get a feel for how different, like how much of a time difference it is. So Problem's just slightly ahead of Gerdo at this point. Zero Rush and Tojo deciding to do the Frog World Tour instead of finishing Pod. Let's see if it pays off. A piece of heart.
A piece of
Thank
heart.
you for showing me all these locations. Have a piece of heart.
Well, he clearly loved them.
That's true. Gerdo does have a better sword, so that will actually make it a little faster. They don't have silvers, which would be another fast way to kill King Helmasaur. So we actually might see Gerdo just completely catch up to Problems during the boss. He requires 8 hits from the Master Sword, only 4 from the Tempered, depending on if they spin or not. If they spin, it's less, of course.
Right. I'm not sure how easy it's going to be to line up the hammer hits with 1 without a shield and 2 as different sprites. So he might just Problems might just go ahead and use the sword.
It's a spin. All spins. Nice. And then we're done. Let's see what he gives. I mean, they might have to go up to Dark World Death Mountain. That could be, looks like just rupees.
Rupees, yeah. Couldn't quite make it out from the explosion for a second. So Zero Rush going into Hera.
Okay. Now, he got Titans, though, didn't he? So he might decide to do Hera and backtrack to do Dark World Death Mountain.
Yeah, that would make sense. Because without the mirror, he doesn't have an easy way back up the mountain in the Light World. So once he goes into the Dark World, that's it. He'd either have to do the entire loop background again to check Hera, if he did it later.
Yep. So it looks like Problem's also deciding Death Mountain is where it is. We'll see if he decides to do Tower Hera first, or if he's just going to go right to, like, Hookshot Cave.
So there's a few other places they could go at this point. Ice Palace is completely open to them, I'm pretty sure. And I think they have everything they... No, they haven't have the mirror, did they? So they can't do Swamp.
They can't do Swamp. They did Skull.
They don't have access to my area yet.
They don't have Flute yet.
So really it's Dark World Death Mountain.
They could go into Turtle Rock, depending on what medallion it requires, because they do have Quake and Ether.
Very true. I can see why you'd want to go to Dark World Death Mountain. You want to check the medallion for Turtle Rock, and obviously all the locations in Hera. It's a pretty lucrative place to go.
Required items can be in Turtle Rock, so I'm really curious if we're going to see any of our runners decide to dip in early and check. There's 5 things in that dungeon itself.
Right.
Here's Bombos. Okay, we've seen it. It's Bombos, which we have not seen Bombos yet. I don't know when we saw it. When did we see that? Hera tile room is required. It happens.
But yeah, like you said, items can be in Turtle Rock, and to be honest, they often are, because there's just so many chests in Turtle Rock now.
Yep.
So a clean from Zero Rush there. Using the hammer on Moldon. Just takes 3 hits.
So if they want the last item, they're going to have to go down... Ooh, Butter Sword from the purple chest.
It's bittersweet. It's always good to have, sure, but it's not a progression item that Todge wanted. So I think he would have preferred to have done without.
This is nice and early to get that. Oh, is Gerda going to go into ice? Are we seeing it?
I think we are.
Oh, nice.
I think it's a good play.
Oh my gosh. So,
and it's a crystal. It's
a crystal dungeon that you can finish and fully clear. Do it. So we're going to see some Dark World Death Mountain on Zero Rush and Problem Side. We're going to see Ice Cave over Gerda. We'll see if either of the any of our runners decide to go into Turtle Rock early, which would be neat. Oh, what did the green pendant give? I missed it. Did anyone catch that?
I didn't see in my end.
Did Tojo not do Eastern?
He's cornered by the enemies on the staircase. That was brilliant. So Gerda gets a small key.
There's a bomb upgrade, okay.
Chest of Ice Palace, which makes full clearing it pretty nice. He can go straight through the right door at the crossroads coming up shortly. It means he doesn't have to double back on himself.
Mm. Oh. So Zero Rush actually, yeah, he's just going right to Spike Cave. Wow, with half a heart to spare.
Easy every time.
Just Red Rupee for his trouble.
So, problem's setting up a Death Warp here, because he has no mirror, which is a smart thing to do.
Nothing of worth inside of Terrahera itself. Ice Palace looking better and better so far. We'll see if Gerdo picks up anything good. Luckily, he did get the small key, so he's able to check this hole. I like being able to check this side once you can, go to the right away, rather than like going deeper to get a small key and coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes it much faster. Problems blocking the Dead Rock. That's why they're the worst enemy in the game.
They are.
Zero Rush doing a nice little trick to get through the blocks there with the hook shot.
Ooh, only 10 arrows from one of the first items in Ice Palace. Alright, Zero Rush is going to make his way over to Hookshot Cave. 4 more items to get there, and then they'll have to decide, do I go into Turtle... No, I can't go into Turtle Rock. Ice. I think ice might be required.
I hope it's at Cold Stir. That's always fun. Although they have half magic, actually, so should make pretty quick work of him.
And like for Tojo, he also has butter, so it's especially easy.
That's true. Although problems will only have the Master Sword, but either way, with so much magic, I don't see it being a problem.
So, nothing of worth. Literacy. Ice literacy. So, a book, which means I can get into Desert now. And there's the 2 locations outside of Desert, in addition.
Right.
I don't know if you've seen what's on the ledge at Desert.
So, it's kind of a tough call.
Chat, you are our item trackers. That's what you do. Let us know. It's just for this race because we have 4 people going. There's too many to keep track of items.
Right. The once the after the qualifiers are done, the main tournament will be having item trackers.
Oh, Pedestal. Yeah. Desert was the last one. Maybe we'll see some blind pulls. It's actually tough to say who's in the lead. All of our runners are about the same. Right now, Gerdo has a slight advantage because he's doing a crystal dungeon. And if book is required, then yeah, he would be ahead at this point. Yeah, book is not a requirement for Pedestal, but it gets you into Desert, which is a pendant dungeon.
Depending on what Cobster drops, that book is going to be a very useful book.
Ooh, careful, careful.
One heart. I'm surprised he didn't just use more of his magic. Yeah, a heart container for his reward.
Not even sank heart. Brian, Cane of Brian was actually useful, yes. Oh, did we see Bombos? Oh, you're just talking about what's for TR. So I do want to apologize if we missed something.
Yeah.
We are trying to pay attention to all 4 of our runners, and it can be tricky to see who picks up what. Alright, so we have Zero Rush in Ice, Tojo in Tarahara, and looks like Problems is also heading towards Ice, and Gerdo, not quite checking on his book yet. He might go up to Ether, but he might stop in.
The crystal, right? So he can still keep that, so yeah, I completely understand why he'd want to do this first.
He's doing everything together, which is a nice routing choice from Gerdo here.
Zero Rush slightly missing that bomb strategy, unfortunately. So the penguins can be pretty tough. If you haven't got Tempered Sword, they take quite a few hits or 2 spins from... Oh, actually 1 spin. No, it's going to be 2 spins, isn't it? From the Master
It's going to be 2, because normally it requires 1 spin with Tempered.
Right. And especially if you don't have the hook shot, like bombs is then the next best thing for these guys.
I was going to say, I love having hookshot for Ice because so many things can be insta-killed. As I say, they're ticklish because it's a tickle beam. It's a Super Metroid thing. But yeah, so lots of ticklish enemies in Ice Palace.
Of course, what could happen here is that somebody who's not being restreamed comes in and takes the win, because there's over 150 people, so it's impossible to predict who's going to win.
And this seed has definitely done that, with people maybe doing the early sequence break to Waterfall Ferry to get gloves, and then not deciding to do sort of like Problems did, deciding not to do Palace of Darkness, going right over to the left-hand side and doing Palace of Darkness after getting Hammer. Like, there's a lot of things our runners could be doing that we just won't see, because we can only pay attention to 4 at once. There's the book for Zero Rush. You see the hookshot strats from Problems because of his Master Sword. You know, if he never does Zora or the purple chest, he's going to be clearing with Master Sword. We know where all of the swords are. And honestly, it's a tough call. Like, Zora is very far out of the way. The chest is a bit of a walk. Maybe if you get Flute, depending on if they have any other go mode. Like, if they're in go mode, then they're not going to check the chest or go to Zora.
We still don't have eyes on Silver Arrows, though.
Right.
So, fighting Ganon with just the Master Sword, no silvers, that's a pretty tough fight and very time-consuming compared to just, you know, having Tempered or Silver Arrows.
So for those joining us, yes, this is open mode. It just, at this point in the game, you're not really going to see any differences between open and standard. But early on, it just means you didn't have to do Escape or save Zelda. You just, right away, you can start from Link's House or Sanctuary and just go from there. And you don't get a sword right away. And there are custom sprites now in the randomizer. So on the bottom screens, you'll see Frog and Bomberman Tingle.
I think we concluded it was a Pokemon.
That's a Pokemon? What?
Apparently.
No way.
I only know the first generation Pokemon, so I have no idea about any beyond that. Like, Decidueye is what a lot of people have said it is. I prefer Bomberman Tingle.
Oh, it's Rowlet. Yeah. Sure. I'm gonna call him Bomberman Tingle. I don't care. It's happening. Alright, Zero Rush is on. Colt's there.
No.
Little dangerous. Did he run out of magic?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And he didn't pick up half magic. That's a huge setback for Zero Rush.
Oh no. That hurts. I mean, Ice Palace is one of the longest. Even in Go mode, Ice is a long dungeon.
Ouch. That is extremely painful. There's really nothing he can do now. Like, he's not going to go back to Cold Stare for a long time, I imagine.
I mean, he can look in the book.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to use that book straight away and just put all his hopes into that.
He can just come back later, but it's still going to be, what, like 3 minutes or so that he's going to have to make up because of that death. Or, well, running out of magic.
Yeah, the good thing is he just needs to go straight back to Cold Stare, and with the bomb jump, it's not too bad, but it's definitely still a pretty time-consuming loss.
Alright, let's see what's in Desert, though.
Problems healing up, and getting mauled by a bee, so that he could catch a fairy. Yeah, Ice is a crystal, so he's going to have to go back for that. There we see problems using Canis Samaria on the block, rather than pushing the block down with the bomb jump, which is a nice little shortcut you can use, and which can be required.
So Gerda right behind Zero Rush, going into Desert.
So I think at this point we have to see a progression item here.
Yeah, because you need Mirror to get the Bombos, so if book is required, which I believe it is, although it could be at the Pedestal.
Pedestal,
yes. Or in Desert. So we have 2 items in Desert. It was bombs on the ledge, so that's not it. So we have 2 items here somewhere in Desert. Very quick check. It's a very fast dungeon. In fact, I think this is the fastest dungeon.
Maybe Hera? If you don't have to do Tyrum?
Hera's also, yeah.
It's certainly one of the fastest. There we see that boots are required.
Good point. Well, that's if this dungeon is required.
Right, yeah, of course.
Which it should be, yeah, because we pretty much exhausted everything else.
It's obviously going to be Pedestal, so...
yeah. That would be
I hope it is. I hope to see it.
First qualifier is a Pedestal seed.
What do we want? We want Mushroom on Pedestal leading to something like that.
Oh my gosh. Oh, they have to kill Lamola for the last item here. Good. That means they're pretty much gonna pull the Pedestal regardless.
I'm trying to think if there's any other, like, just random overall locations they haven't checked at this point. I think between the Forerunners, we've seen everything.
Yeah, without Mirror, there's a few locations.
Oh, Ether, Tablet, and Bombos we haven't seen.
We have seen Ether.
Okay, I missed that.
It was crap. Okay, Bomberman Tingle using some bombs. He's way too far down. He's gonna have to move higher up. It's hard to do with a custom sprite because you don't know where it is.
Right.
There
he gets the second time.
That would probably be one of the downsides, unless you use a sprite often enough that you learn it.
I see some questions about forfeits. If somebody forfeits the race, then they're going to be getting, like, whoever finishes last is basically going to be using their score, and like we're penalizing ever so slightly more. So if you quit a race, then it's going to harm your chances of getting in. It's not something you can do.
Just finish. Like, even if you feel like you're having a bad time, just go through and finish it.
Right, and we're using the average across all races you join in the qualifying period. So one bad race doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to make it.
Zero Rush having to use arrows because he doesn't have any magic for his fire rod.
Yeah, that half magic coming back to haunt him again. Not nearly quite as bad, but still.
Actually, if he goes to Aegina right after this, he's going to get his half magic. He's going to be kicking himself. Well, I guess he didn't have a reason to come over here earlier without boots or anything. But still. Bombos. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Turtle Rock. It's happening. Turtle Rock has just opened up. Awesome. So are we going to see a blind pull of the pedestal before they go up to Turtle Rock? Because that gets you in to Turtle Rock, which is probably where a required item is.
What else do they need at this point, right? They need Mirror for Swamp.
They need Mirror, they need Flute, they need Ice Rod. No. What we want to see, chat, is Mushroom in Turtle Rock, which gives you Ice Rod. That's what we want to see.
The next item, yeah.
Think big. Let's do this all in. There's half magic for Zero Rush. Gerdo has gotten his bombos. Problems is almost on desert, and Tozo's almost on ice.
No, nobody is finished yet. I think we're a ways off anybody finishing. I don't expect anyone to finish before 130 at the very earliest, but probably closer to 140.
This seems like a longer seed.
Yeah, they had a pretty slow start with Ganon being required. And
all right, chat, get your pedestal hype. It's happening over on Gerdo's side. Where is the pedestal hype? Do we not have that in here? Oh, it's just a pray thing. Anyway, let's hope Gerdo just does a blind pull.
Yeah, he's got to. If not, he would be getting forfeit from the race.
Here we go. Come on, Couch Cash. Bombs!
It's 3 bombs.
They worked hard for that 3-bomb pack. Oh boy. Alright, Turtle Rock. Who's excited for this? So, we have seen all of the pendant dungeons. Desert had Bombos in it, which it looks like that's required. Of course, Thieves had 2 items in there that were required. And what was in, Eastern was the last one. That was like nothing, right?
That had the Master Sword.
Oh. Yeah, and then you had to kill Ganon. Okay. All the pendant dungeons. How about this? This new logic. All pendant dungeons had a required item.
The bomb. That's what we like to see here.
So they had to go into all the pendant dungeons. They had to kill Ganon, even though his item was not worth. And now we're going to see an early Turtle Rock, because that's all that's left, I think.
I think so. I think they've cleared everything else now, between them.
It looks like Gerdo's going to check his green pendant now, because he wasn't able to do it early. It's a bit linear, but you can see that it's also longer, because who wants to make that call to go do a dungeon without Ice Rod? Or it's required. Like, we have seen some interesting plays this seed, even though it seems linear. This is a 100% seed, yep. Alright, Gerdo going to be the first to make the call. Problem's getting lost in Lost Woods.
Living up to its name. Oh, that's a good point from Meatbag. That's a good
point.
Nobody's been back into Thieves Town.
Did they get both? I don't know.
Did anyone have Hammer before they went in there? I don't think anybody went into the game first. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Because you couldn't backtrack. If you went down the Shovel, you'd have Hammer, but if you didn't do Thieves yet, which is where Titans were...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Zero Rush taking a death there. Unfortunately, he's not having a good time.
So we have Turtle Rock or the one Chest and Thieves.
Oh no, my money's on. Or both.
On both. That's right. Oh my gosh.
It'd be nice if silvers or something were in Thieves Down Big Chest.
That's a far way to go just for silvers, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a nice reward for having to do all that, but honestly, you just want the items that put you in go mode. That's what you really want.
So Gerdo, our first one into Turtle Rock.
Yeah, Problems is going to make the call. He's going into Thieves first.
Interesting.
And Gerdo has to check Hookshot Cave. Interesting.
He found Bombos though, right? Didn't he?
Gerdo should have. Yeah, Gerdo has Bombos.
Problems, I mean.
Yeah, he did Desert, didn't he? He had to have.
Maybe he just wants to be thorough. Check this, so he doesn't get burned.
We'll see if he opens up his map. Or his item menu. Yes, he did. Okay. Chat confirms. Our item trackers are on it. He got trolled yesterday. Oh. Doesn't want to get trolled again, huh?
If there is here, though, I think that's a play that we won't see many people do. So that'll put in really good stead. It's an interesting gamble here.
I'm feeling this Turtle Rock plan. I'm feeling it. I like this.
So Zero Rush still not having too good of a time here. He's low on health before Cold Stare, so I really hope he doesn't take another death. We just need to see him get through this.
Plenty of shots for the Fire Rod, though, with all this magic that he has. He could even opt to use Bombos. Oh, was that a Death Warp set up from Problems and he had a fairy?
The classic.
Oh, what was it? Oh, chat, I missed it. No.
It was rupees. It was rupees.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I'm watching Zero Rush. I'm hoping he can pull this off here. And Gerdo's is heading to the right-hand side. Man, I just did a race yesterday where a hookshot was up there. Well, we have another forfeit as well from Mally.
Can you imagine trying the Death Warp with a fairy?
I've done that before, and I'm kicking myself. I'm like, oh, I forgot I had that fairy. Alright, Zero Rush, able to get it done. Gets a crystal.
Yeah, I can make fun of him because in one of my tournament matches from the last one, I tried to do a Death Warp at Palestina's Big Chest. Without the mirror, and the fairy just took me back to life.
Problems might actually be doing the purple chest as well.
Yeah, which would actually be pretty good for him. With only the Master Sword, he's going to be happy to see.
It's just without the mirror, it's going to take a little while.
It's probably just going to be the dwarf, and then leave it at that. It's a lot of time to come all the way back for the purple chest.
Yeah.
When it's just the one thing you're doing.
Alright, looks like we're going to have another blind pull.
We've got another forfeit here.
No comment, so we don't know why, but I can see it could be a frustrating seed with how this is going.
Here we go, Tochiso going to be getting his super bombs that are going to blow up Ganon. Not what he wanted to see.
Zero Rush finishing pod before he goes up to do Turtle Rock. So we're still looking for Flute. We're still looking for Mirror. What's the third item I'm missing?
We don't know what the medallion is for Maya.
But they have all three medallions.
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought we were still missing Quake.
So yeah, we're still missing Flute and Mirror. A nice rod, thank you. That was the third one. Ooh, nice one. Pokey's lining up for Gerdo there.
We're gonna see Mimic Cave. That's something you don't get to see too often.
All right, chat. Where do you think what do you think we're gonna find here? What I'm hoping is like Mirror at Trinex with Mushroom on Laser Bridge that leads there. What did he not do? Mimic?
Well, we don't have mirror, do we?
Oh,
I said we're gonna see it, and then I just remembered straight after. I was hoping you wouldn't call me out on that.
No, you know what? Mirror on Laser Bridge. What do? Do you backtrack and check Mimic Cave? I mean, you could take a Death Warp. There's Flute.
There's Flute. Okay, that's really
so
good.
that is one of our required items. And since they have the cane, they can actually go and complete Mire.
I think if you find a mirror later in the dungeon, you are gonna mirror back and check Mimic Cave.
That's a good point. Why take
Still
a Death
looking
Warp
for
when you
Ice
have a
Rod,
mirror?
so yeah. But you might not immediately think of it, that's the thing. Because you've already ruled out Mimic Cave in your head. So once you get mirror, you're not going to think, it's going to be quite tricky. That's a mistake which could definitely happen to anyone. This could be a double dip Turtle Rock though. Bombs. The map. A bomb upgrade.
And the key. That's required anyway. And that's it. Flute was the item to get. Go all the way to Turtle Rock, get Flute, to go activate it so you can actually do Mire. We still need Ice Rod and Mirror, and at least we know it's not in Turtle Rock. You know,
so at this point, it's gotta be Mire or Mire area, right? There's nothing else left.
You know what would be funny is if Ice Rod is in Mimic Cave. So then you have to, like, exhaust everything else, and then you're like, oh, here it was the whole time. I'm still hoping for, like, the Mushroom Dream. Like, Mushroom is at Mimic Cave, which leads to Ice Rod. Like, imagine a triple dip of Turtle Rock.
I wonder how many forfeits we'll roll in if that is the case.
Well, so the nice thing about doing a triple dip though is you can exit from the laser bridge bomb wall, and you can mirror from there to flute away because you can get back to that point. So it's not that bad.
Yep.
Yep. There was our swag duck, or as I like, the jazz duck. If only Cross Product was here to do that. Alright, let's see. We got 2 items outside in the shed, and then we have 2 more inside of Mire itself. And he blocked us. He doesn't have mirror, so he can't do that.
Oh, you don't have audio? Did he try and erase that with the flute? Or did he just accidentally push that?
I think he just accidentally pushed it. Another forfeit. Whew, this seed is just... This is a trolley one. We have Tojo going through Turtle Rock himself. Zero Rush about to do his blind pull of the pedestal. And Problems might be heading on over to Turtle Rock at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, J-Lo's controller stopped working. This is, yeah, I think this is a good qualifier seed.
It's a tough one, for sure. And a lengthy one.
I like it because you're going to see a lot more skill paying off in this case because so much is required to do.
Right.
Rather than the people who just get lucky with their routing and do well in the weeklies, which I feel like it happens a lot because if you just make the right call, you're going to be ahead.
Yeah, well, the longer it goes on, obviously the more execution is going to matter over time.
That's why I like this one for a qualifier. We're like an hour 30 in, and we still have a lot of dungeons to do. We still have Swamp. Still have the finished Turtle Rock. Doing Mire, which is what Gerda's doing now. One of the items... There's one item left in Mire. Gerda just got a bomb pack, so... Or the 3 bombs, so...
Powder, hopefully?
You just want a fetch quest.
I've never seen every item location outside of Ganon's Tower be like checked or required before. I've seen most of it. I'm hoping we get to see absolutely everything right now. Although
we'd have to get Mirror here, or a fetch quest that leads to Mirror, so that way Swamp is required for check to look for Ice Rod.
Right.
So Gerdo's looking for the big key and one more chest in here. Tojo's finishing up. Unfortunately, Problems took a death. Used a fairy. Oh, there's a shield up there. And we know where all the shields are.
They could have had Mirror Shield.
Could have.
So Dodge doing an intentional death here to restore his health, presumably. We've seen a lot of death warps and deaths.
Hey, when you don't have Mirror, you gotta do something.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's interesting how useful Mirror is that you don't quite realize it when you're just playing through the game. Like, especially doing a dungeon like Palace of Darkness, which requires a lot of Mirror usage. When you get to the point where you don't have it, you have to think about how to route things efficiently.
Yeah. Like, also to have Hero, if you have to go to the tile room, that's rough to, like, run all the way back from that too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I've seen a couple of questions, like, what is this? So yeah, this is a qualifying race, 1 of 5, which are happening throughout the next week of the A Link to the Past open mode randomizer tournament. The first round of that is a Swiss format, starting next Monday. So I think SpeedGaming is going to be rebroadcasting all 5 of the qualifier races. I'm not sure if I think all of them. Or at least, like, some of the bigger ones, at the very least.
Yeah. So I do want to point out that Gerdo did pick up Mirror inside of Meyer. So that was one of our required items, and now we're just looking for Ice Rod. And also, thank you for the subscription, Gilgamesh. It looks like Swamp. There's actually a lot of locations open by Mirror. If people haven't done, the dwarves and the purple chest, that's open. You have north, you have the ledge over by the graveyard. South of the grove, which is by Old Stumpy, you mirror there. So there's actually a number of locations, but the biggest one, of course, is Swamp. You have 6 things in that dungeon, so I would think that's a first stop. Crystal Dungeon, can get all the chests, go do it. And then you can check these other locations out. Oh, and Bombos, I should mention. Bombos is something you can get now, too. And we haven't seen a Fat Fairy check either. I'm not sure which dungeons were required, but...
Yeah, not too sure. The map check was a long time ago.
Right.
And without the tracker, it's real hard to keep up with that.
But that is something else to keep in mind. Now, they have beaten Aghanim, so you can do the quicker thing. I'm actually having trouble with the stream. Are you having trouble?
No, it's fine on my end. Also, thank you, Mooncry, for the sub there. For anyone who doesn't know, SpeedGaming doesn't just broadcast Link to the Past. For anyone new to the channel, so lots of different kind of tournaments and exhibitions of various different games. There's action pretty much every day. Especially on like Fridays, Saturdays, there's hours and hours and hours of competitive tournaments. All speed runs, speed gaming. It's something you want to hit that subscribe button for.
Yep. All right, Gerda has finished. He's putting his mirror immediately to use. And Zero Rush and Problems are making their way through Turtle Rock. Tojo's right on Gerdo's heels, about to head in the mire. Yeah, Feasel does a lot. Definitely shout outs to Feasel for everything that he does for the community here. Alright, Gerdo looks like he's gonna head... Are we gonna see a Bombos check before Swamp? That's the question. The Mimic Cave Dream is still alive, yes. I want to see the triple dip.
I probably would have checked Bombos before, just on the off chance you could go mode Swamp.
Right. They only need one item. Go moding Swamp is a huge time save. That there actually is a big difference. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you to all the devs who've been working on this, getting V26 working through all the bugs and kinks, and just making this awesome randomizer.
Yeah, especially VTorp and Carcat, they've put in considerable work, and there's a huge community of people involved. Like if it's bug reports or sprite work or just giving feedback, like it's a work in progress. It's always under development, and it's like amazing working with all these guys on it. We have somebody saying, "I'm dumb" in the race channel.
That happens.
I wonder how many people are thinking that about their own playthrough at the moment.
Now, we don't know if anyone is in Go mode. From what we're watching, our runners that we're watching are not in Go mode. But we have no idea if they're going to be in the lead, like, when it ends. We have 150-ish people in this qualifier now.
Yeah, so somebody said, are these 4 people racing against each other? Yes, there's 150 plus people racing this exact version of the game right now. And we're just showing who kind of we thought would be among the top. It's obviously extremely difficult to predict who's going to be the exact top 4.
Yep.
Problems unlocking his swag duck there. Fortunately not getting to put it to much use. At least they found boots early though. Like, what you really want is boots and the flute early on. It really speeds up movement for the rest of the run.
So it looks like Gerdo's assigned to do the last half of Swamp first. Get it done. And I think this is a good move because if he happens to get Ice Rod, from any of the chests down here on the boss, then he's done. He doesn't have to go check the left-hand side, which is time-consuming.
Yeah, I agree with that play as well.
Alright, Problems making his way into Mire. Tozo is about to pick... Wait, no, he should have got me. He should be getting the big key.
And let's not forget, we still have the fun of finding the big key in Ganon's Tower yet. There's always hope for Tile Room.
Always a hope! Oh my gosh, I just had a seed like that the other day. Is that ours? Is that the one we raced?
Possibly.
I don't know, you played like 5, so... But, oh my gosh, to have it in Tile Room, like, you don't even see it. It happened to me, and then I'm like, for a moment, like, I checked everything else, and I'm like, wait a minute, what did I forget? Oh yeah, there's Tile Room.
Yeah, sure. So the way we're like scoring positions, obviously because there's multiple races and people can join more than one race, we're using a thing called a Z-score, where it's basically just standardizing, like it's using the standard deviation of everybody that finishes, and kind of normalizing the data for each race. And then we're going to be taking an average of that Z-score across all the races participated in. It's, I think, the fairest method we found to kind of, rank people, considering that there's multiple races. We didn't want to use raw positions or times due to the nature of Randomizer. Makes it a pretty unfair thing to use between different seeds. And then a few things beyond that. So anyone who's pre-qualified, which was the top 16 from the previous tournament, their times are being excluded. Say if they happen to race in the qualifying races, they're not going to be included when we calculate kind of the race standard deviation. And anyone that forfeits won't impact anybody else. They will be penalized, but that they also won't be taken into account when calculating the standard deviation of the race. And then once all the races finish, it's going to be, there's 100 positions available. 13 of the previous 16 have signed up to this one, so there's 87 total spots up for grabs. It looks like Gerdo didn't find what he was looking for.
No, not from
So
the boss.
having
So
to
he's
do
left-hand side.
west side, yeah.
So our qualified, I think the qualifiers are still open. Like you can still sign up, right?
Yeah.
As long as you get into one of the races, which is by Friday. This upcoming Friday would be the last one. So if you still want to sign up and get in, you still have a chance. I mean, this is the first qualifier here. We have 2 more tomorrow, 1 on Wednesday, 1 on Friday. So the idea being everyone gets a chance. So yeah, you could end up hurting your average time. So if you do really well, you probably don't want to race anymore and just see what happens, I guess. Whereas if you do poorly, if you do better, it can average it out. And it's nice that way. Now, normally, in case people are not aware and you're looking to start running, links to pass, get into the randomizer, 3 o'clock Eastern, which is when this started, is normally our standard run, where we do our weekly. This is our standard weekly. And the open weekly is tomorrow at 5:30 Eastern PM.
Right, they're huge races.
Silvers
get 100 entrants generally. So that means Bombo's tablet with the ice rod, I guess?
Maybe.
I think Gerdo's done everything else now.
Well, they have to check south of the Grove.
Oh, right.
There's
the
north
other
of the
remaining. Yeah.
the graveyard. So there's still a few things Gerdo can check. Now he's here. He should check this tablet as he's doing. He can go to the Grove right after here if this is not ice. Where is it's the quest for the ice rod? Where the heck is it? And this is, you don't usually see this in V26. Ice rod is not typically the go mode item. But it can be, as we see now. And it's very
it's quite rare for
trolly
it to
seed.
be in this version of the logic. Like, it's usually like the bow, it could be the flute, a medallion.
I can't believe it's not V18. Vitor, I'd like to report a bug. Ice rod last item. This is V26, that is it. And there's Ice Rod, sitting south of the Grove. So,
45.
Gerdo is in go mode. What's the time? We're like 150 in, and he's in go mode finally.
141, 53 in the SRO race channel. Yikes. And we sort of got to go back through Turtle Rock.
Oh my gosh.
Ganon's Tower.
Okay, but we at least know where all the swords are, although Gerdo only has tempered. What did he skip? He skipped purple chest.
I think everybody will be finding silvers then, unless they happen to do the other mirror spots before.
Well, yeah, because silvers are on the left-hand side of Swamp. So, I mean, it looks like Tozo's gonna find it. We'll see what Zero Rush and Problems do after they're done Mire.
So Zero Rush in a bit of trouble here. He's got a lot of arrows, but this isn't a comfortable Vitreous. It's only having the Master Sword.
Careful, careful!
Oh no.
Does he have a fairy?
I don't think so.
No. Oh, another boss death for Zero Rush.
And probably the second most time-consuming one as well.
You know, I like how you've been checking .time in the race chat, so they don't actually know, like, why we're doing that. Because normally some people do a .time because they enter go mode or something stupid, but they actually have no idea why you keep doing it.
Yeah, I might just keep doing it more. I like to add some extra pressure to everybody.
That's the way to go. Like, did they enter go? Oh no, they entered go mode. I mean, Gerdo probably knows because we did it right after he went into go mode. Yeah, Zero Rush is doing fine. You can see he's about even with Problems. It's just those deaths are hurting him.
Yeah, like he would have been kind of, you know, tied with Gerdo. For the most part, because they were together in Ice Palace. And it's just the death that's separated them.
I mean, they haven't found a tunic upgrade, and although you did have a couple of useful bottles, it's just that if you've already used them, you're done.
Right. Well, we saw a tunic upgrade on Spectacle Rock. We just obviously
Oh,
didn't have
good
the
point.
mirror
mirror to grab it. So it was there just taunting us the entire time.
So is anyone going to get it on the way? I know Gerdo didn't, but someone else could opt to go that path. It's a little longer, but it also gives you that safety. Alright, Problem's entering go mode. He's getting his Ice Rod right here.
So actually, Zero Rush has 2 hearts less than some of the others too.
So notice Problem, since he decided to do this first before doing Swamp, he's in go mode. He's probably not going to get silvers.
And we're probably not going to see him get the butter either. So it's just going to be Tempest Organa, which shouldn't be much of a problem for him.
Nah, it's not too bad.
It's lucky he did the purple chest and got that sword upgrade. 'Cause if he was still on the Master Sword, then he'd
That's
have
a
some real
pain.
decisions to make after finishing Swamp here.
Well, I know if I was in that position, I'd be like, well, let's see what Ganon's Tower. There's a lot of chests here. Maybe I'll get a sword upgrade or silvers or something. But we know that's not up there. Silvers are in the left-hand side of Swamp, so you'll see Tozo, if he decides to finish this here, he should do the left-hand side and he'll pick it up.
Zero Rush is having a bit of a scary fight against Vidrius. Okay, he should have this in the back here.
Alright, alright, we're good.
He's through. It's a good job he had like 60 arrows to begin with.
Putting those arrow upgrades to use.
And Gerda making short work of Trinex there. Very clean.
And he did go back and finish Pod, right? Like, I don't see why he would do Turtle Rock before finishing everything up. So, I think it's that time, chat. It's time to guess where you think the big key in Ganon's Tower will be. Guess a number between 1 and 22. One of those chests has the big key in it. Where do you think it is? What do you think, Christos? What are you going for today?
I'm gonna go with Tile Room.
Of course, with the way this seed is, why not? I'm
gonna go with 21.
It's right before Tile Room.
I'd love to see somebody just gamble on Tile Room first.
That's such a. It's so time consuming. Also, we'll see if Gerd decides to go right or left. Now, if he doesn't get a small key on the right-hand side, he probably is just going to go left. I don't think he does. Well, I don't actually know. We'll find out. Let's see which way he goes.
Going down the right first.
Sure.
So if we get a
two
key
per
here,
chest.
it can be interesting. Oh,
A
mail
tunic.
upgrade. And a
That
key.
made this whole thing easier. And yes, he's going to go right first.
We are seeing the Hiei strat.
Is that what this is?
There's a few strats in Ganon's Tower. The Hiei strat is if you get a key there, you continue going right, skipping Tower Room. The Dark Magician strategy is to go to the top left room first with the 4 chests, and then mirror back and go right. Those are kind of the main 2 different ones, rather than just going the left route first.
So the question is, though, if you check these 4 chests and it's not in here, do you continue to Armos? Or do you just go back and start doing the left?
You generally mirror, go back to the left. Oh, he gets
on
the
the
big
right!
key! He still needs the small key. That's why he's opening more chests. You have to go upstairs with at least 1 key. Unless you want to bet your life on there being a key up there.
I thought there's always a small key right there, which you should pick up if you're at 0 keys and you do the right-hand side. Make sure you get that key before you warp out. Alright, so it looks
what
like
was
we have
that?
an
That
update
was
from
1
chat.
to chest number 3. That was, wasn't it?
Yeah. There's 3 from going right. Which should be like, what, 19?
Alucard, guest 3. Is the first person I saw.
So it looks like we got an update from chat, and TGH is ahead, and I Am the Swords are ahead. So we might see some dot duns soon. But Gerda right there, he's heading upstairs. He has silvers. He has tempered.
He's got very, very good execution too. So the rest of this is just cleaning out Ganon's tower, beating Ganon. It's pretty second nature to Gerdo now at this point.
Yeah, nothing much to worry about. He has half magic, 9 hearts, blue tunic. No problem. So Zero Rush is just entering Swamp. He's not in go mode yet. He's also lacking that sword, so depending on what he does, he might actually be doing Master Sword strats. Now he should have silvers if he does a full check. Tozo, what is he doing? Did he not get ice? I thought he got ice.
He's still looking for it at this point, I think.
Oh
He
no!
must be. I don't see why else he would be doing this.
Right, he just went and did Swamp. So he actually did not continue to do Bombos and then South of the Grove. But Problems is in go mode. He's going into Turtle Rock just now. Oh, I'm the Swords did Ice Armos. Uh-oh.
I think this is a good example of some of the variants we will see.
Yeah.
So here's 4 of the expected top races, and you can see how they're all at very different stages. The latest version really can separate races.
Ooh, Tozo making the call to check the Thieves chest.
Which unfortunately, it's going to reward him with 5 rupees.
Oh no. So apparently TGH just beat Lammo too. So he's about 30 seconds. He's a Twitch delay ahead, as far as we know.
Should be fairly close then. Also depends, do we know if he has silvers or which sword he has?
Okay,
So it's been a really clean gauntlet and upstairs from Gerdo.
Zero Rush checking the left-hand side. He'll be rewarded with silver soon.
What do we think we're going to get validated with? Or are we just going to skip it altogether?
I hope Gerdo skips it. I'm a fan of skipping that chest. TGH verified. Please, Gerdo, skip it. Skip it. Do not. No. What are you?
He's bombing it.
Oh man, the disrespect.
If he loses the race by 2 seconds because of that menu, that's going to be brilliant.
Oh my gosh. We verified that chest has been bombed.
So unfortunately, Gerdo is now disqualified.
Well, there goes his average, right? That's a very nice Aghanim. The lineups, he's just 1 hit away. There it is.
Doesn't get too much better than that.
Alright, Tozo did get his Ice Rod. He's making his way up to Turtle Rock. Problems is almost done. And Zero Rush is finishing up Swamp now.
We're going to be switching out the players once they finish. Yo, okay, well, we have our first finish.
Wow.
Gem has finished.
We got our first winner of the qualifier, Gem. I don't know anything about them. Are they a new runner?
I have no idea. There's so many people involved in Randomizer now that it's just really hard to know who's who. And so many races happen. At all time zones. He's in the winners finals for entrance rando. Well, there you go.
Ah, okay. Gem.
Gem or Jet?
Yeah, I've seen Gem around. I just don't know anything about him. Ganon with the trolls, all the teleports. But this is also standardized between all the runners. So you've noticed that things like blue balls and Aghanim are back in. The teleports, I'm not sure if they were as part of the last tournament, but it's standardized. So all the runners will have that many teleports from Ganon.
Gerdo finishing up in the race channel.
Wow, nicely done. Second place goes to Gerdo. Only a minute and like 20 seconds behind.
Yeah,
a minute and 20 seconds.
So first place with Gem was 152.59, and then 154.19 from Gerdo.
And there's TGH, only 20 seconds behind Gerdo with third, finishing third. There's our top three: Gem, Gerdo, and TGH. So we were able to watch one of the top three for this qualifier. Nice choosing. Whoever chose, I guess it was you, Christos. Good job.
It was a last minute thing. Who should we try and broadcast? No one had really thought about it. Yeah, I just had a look at the past SRR races to see who had been winning.
So we're pulling up gamer count now, just in Ganon's Tower. But give a follow to Gerdo. He did a great job. Go ahead. If you haven't followed him, go follow him.
As well.
Everyone, yes. Everyone. TGH, Gem. Just go to the Speedruns live page and follow everyone on that list.
I think we've got a lot of people in GT right now. So problem is going to be getting his big key going right side. So he's going to be happy to see that.
Another call to do right. All 150 people, yes. Oh, but it's not number 3 for problems. It's going to be number 5. Oh, is he going to mirror right before? Okay.
Oh, he remembered.
Getting the key. You do not want to forget getting this key here. Alright, Zero Rush probably going to go get his Ice Rod now. I Am the Swartz just finished in 4th place, which is another that people in chat were watching. Nice butter sword kill for Trinex there.
I'm pretty sure that Tudge is using, what did we say? Bomberman Tingle.
Yes, that's the sprite.
So what's the lore behind that, Jet?
Well, so someone like Zelda, of course, and they're a big fan of Tingle because who isn't? And they're like, you know what? I like Bomberman too. What if Tingle was a character in Bomberman? And so there you go. You make the sprite, and here we are.
Gamer Cow sprite. That's a busy one.
That is from Toho? Marissa... I'm not saying the name. Kiri Sami... Oh gosh, why did I even try? I don't pronounce names correctly, and here I go trying to pronounce a name in chat.
Next person finished, Ninja Bro, in 5th place.
Here we go, the cascade. So something I've noticed in the weeklies, you just get a cascades of .duns as people wrap it up. So I'm actually curious how far behind Zero Rush is, since he did lose about 5 minutes because of his deaths. So it'll be interesting to see where he finishes up and figure out what would have been a difference there.
Right. A pretty good Agatsu there from Gamer Cow.
So, once again, for those joining us, 87 people from the qualifiers will move forward. And we're going to take a Z-score from all the races you participate in to figure out where you place amongst the 87. Well, amongst all the runners. And if you're in the top 87, you get to move on to the tournament. And then we have 13 of the top 16 people that have decided to sign up. So they just automatically get in. Did I say, is it called Z-scores? Like, am I like... Yeah, Z-score.
I think it's actually Z-score, but...
Oh, well, okay, I guess it depends on where you're from.
Yeah, it's a Z or Z-score, whatever you want to... You know, if you want to say it incorrectly, it's C, but... There's no judgments there.
So, GamerCal finishing up Ganon now. No more .duns in the SRL chat, so maybe GamerCal will get 6. We'll see. Did you get the silvers in Swamp? The answer is yes.
Yeah, I think most people will be.
It's such an easy check to do Swamp. There's so many chests in there.
Wow, so 2 people finishing within
no, the snipe.
Like 7 seconds of each other. In the name of DT coming in 6th place, 1:59.57, and then GamerCow 2 hours and 4 seconds, 7th place. Just missing out on the sub 2 there. What a seed this has been.
Ninjembro was 5th. All your base are belong to us. Mirmong just finished up in 8th place. Where is the... So we're starting to get those people rounding up right now. Zero Rush is finishing up. Trinex right now. Tojo's upstairs with his Bomberman Tingle Sprite. So that's an interesting trick Tojo just did there. If you fall off right away, your invulnerability time is long enough that you can just dash across the bridge and not worry about the cannonballs, which is nice if you have a lot of hearts. You can just do that. So this was a long seed because all the pendant dungeons were required to be entered. They all had required items. They all had to kill Aghanim, and it was just like you had to make those sort of decisions to determine you had to move forward. So 9th place, Feremi, I don't know how to say their name, but they just got 9th place. You see Sakura just pulled in. She's in Swamp. Not sure if she picked up silvers yet, so we'll see. Okay, saying the name doesn't tell me how to pronounce it. What is Sakura running as? I don't know that sprite. Kong has finished in 10th place. 202. There's a lot of people are doing above 2 hours. This is a long seed.
Yeah, not getting the top 10 all sub 2 hours is pretty rare. Like, I'm not sure how many times that's happened, if at all, to be honest. This has been brutal.
We only had 6 people get the sub 2. Oh, so Adam, Dane, don't worry. Like, if you registered, there's 5 qualifier races. So we're gonna have 2 more tomorrow, 1 more on Wednesday, 1 more Friday. If you are signed up, make sure you check the Discord to see what the times are for that, and just make sure you do one so you get qualified.
Willa J. Bradley finishing 202.54 in 11th place. I think he'd be happy to see that.
Problem's almost done here. We'll see. He should get top 20. We'll see if he gets top 15 though, depending on how many people are going to finish soon.
So it looks like Sakura looking for the ice rod.
Yep. And there's Zero Rush grabbing his big key. Hopefully he'll also get the small key. Okay, he's going to continue and grab the small key.
Yeah, I think most of these guys have either made that mistake before,
right,
or like experienced enough in the game to know not to skip that key.
So what would be interesting to see in some future seed is a not mirror required seed. So you're going through Ganon's Tower without mirror. Oh, here we go. Andy has finished in 12th, but he's pre-qualified. So
right, and then
Alvin just finished. Haiku type.
Sonic Cam? They're rolling in now.
Problems. No, we didn't get the top 15. Do you see how it just cascades? Like, this is all... People are sitting in a fanfare and getting sniped. They're like, I just beat Ganon. Oh, someone else just got done.
Yeah, Sonic Cam lost 4 places based on 18 seconds.
He's sitting there, like, holding up the sword, and everyone else just got done.
The thing is, it's not so much your position that matters, it's your time.
Yeah.
It's the important thing here. It's everyone finishing so close to each other.
Like, it's actually going to help, though, because their times will still be good, because it depends on what the average time and standard deviation is. Tear 16th, and Problems in 17th place. Wow. 15th won't make it. Oh, 17th place for Problems. GG to him, though.
Yeah, nice run overall. So he was one of the people. So he did the like logic break with the fake flippers, and then utilized that with hookshot going to the Dark World early.
And there's ACM at 18th place. Looking forward to my round 2 defeat. Wow.
Who wrote that? Oh, ACMLM.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people finishing now, they're going to move forward. Like, there's Wolfie in 19th place, but he's pre-qualified. Ack the Boker in 20th. Oh, rip stream.
Yeah, stream's died on my end as well.
Can you guys hear us? Because we don't see the commentary thing. Oh, so yeah, they can hear us, but we can't see anything. So guys, what did you think of the race today?
Killer App coming in as well, 21st.
Just missed it, and he died to Ganon twice, which is what hurt his time. And that's actually huge. Like, dying to Ganon twice, that's at least 2 minutes. He would have been in that, like, top 12.
I think, unfortunately, we're going to have to disqualify everyone else for splicing at this point, though.
Because we can't. Tojo just finished at 22nd. We didn't even get to see him finish up. That's a shame.
Yeah, well done to Tojo, though.
I mean, we can't even commentate on what we see because we don't see anything. We can watch Sakura now. All right. So... Oh,
hey.
She's down in Swamp. Finishing up.
Detail.
We have 25. Look at that. People are finishing up. This was a long... Everyone. The Cascades. Such a long seed. We're like... What? 10 minutes? Less than 15 minutes from first place. And we already have 26 people of the 150 done.
Yeah, a long seed for sure. Pretty crazy.
Wait, what? Do we not? What is going on? I can see the restream now, but okay, there we go. Now we can see everyone.
Back up on my end now, too.
It's fixed! Yay! We got Haiku Type, who has finished. Tojo has finished. Zero Rush. What happened to Zero Rush? Oh, is that... What? What's that? Did we see a dot done from Zero Rush?
Let's have a look.
Tojo, yeah, dot results. Sakura just getting her last crystal. She's going to head on over to Ganon's Tower. We'll see if she goes right-hand side first.
No, we haven't had a finish from Zero Rush yet. Not sure what's...
Like, if his cart died... Wait, what? Oh.
Oh, okay, it's the start. We're gonna see it.
We're gonna see a speed run. Oh
Here's one from earlier.
Speed. Oh, there he is a Ganon. Wow.
Yo, the Ganon warp.
Glitch category, please.
Oh, so he still has the Master Sword.
Wow, look at that. We just got a time for 28th. Elmagus and Bentizi. And then we have 30th
1 second
and 31st.
later.
Right after that, Choreo. Oh my god.
4 people finishing within 2 seconds.
Oh my gosh, I feel bad. And Parisian got 30th. I don't know if we mentioned his name yet, but... Wow.
Yeah, so we just had Elmagus, Bentizi, Parisian, and Koya all finish within 4 seconds of each other.
And there's Orphis in 32nd. Oh man, so since Zero Rush never got a sword, here he is doing the Master Sword strats. Now he does have silvers, he has 5 arrows left. You only need 4 for Ganon, so at least he has that. So it's not too bad. You just have to get through this phase. You only get like a couple hits unless you like cape or something. I don't think we've seen cape.
Have Brian. Don't think we... No. In Ganon's house somewhere, perhaps?
The lag cane. That's fine.
The Phil's Batman cane, as somebody called it.
Quite a lot. We've seen some Master Sword strats. We haven't seen any silverless strats. It looks like everyone has gotten silvers that we've been watching.
SMBI and Freddy just finishing as well.
Looks like we might be pulling in Carcat. Swerve just finished at 35th. Oh, we did see 2 silvers. Okay. Problems, that's right. Problems, that's when we started having technical difficulties, but there you go. We've seen a variety of strats. This has been quite a qualifier for the first one, and we have another one tomorrow at, what, 9 a.m. Eastern.
And also, is it 5:30 p.m. Eastern?
5:30 p.m.
tomorrow.
Which is the open weekly time normally. I might participate in that for fun.
Swerve and Elminster finishing up. Monarchy rather.
And there's Zero Rush. There he is.
Getting the 2-12-12.
38th. And he sniped Feral Pigman. What even was that, says Elminster. Oh, Swerve fell to Cold Stare without enough magic, so we had someone else ran out of magic. That's the thing, you really have to pay attention. If you don't have half magic, you need a full magic bar if you're gonna Fire Rod Cold Stare, like to break him open. It needs to be full. Alright, it looks like Fiesel's asking for some suggestions, so who else do you guys want to watch? We have a lot of good runners here. Behemoth? That's the wrong game.
Should we bring up Carcat?
Yeah, Carcat's in Ganon right now. He's on the stream.
There's a lot of people still. Let's have a look. Let me do entrance.
Zakora in her blue dress because she got the blue tunic.
Oh no, we just saw Zabi forfeit.
What? Why did Zori forfeit?
Oh,
Sprite
he said
despawn.
Sprite despawn.
Oh, let me talk about that. Sprite despawn in Ganon's Tower is the worst. So, if you know the section where you're upstairs, there's the 4 lamps on the very narrow bridge. If you light those, go through the door and go up the steps on like the same frame that the door closes, you will despawn the sprites in Ganon's tower, which means you cannot fight Aghanim. You can't fight Moldorm because he's despawned. So you have to mirror out and go back in. It's the worst thing ever. But honestly, it would put Zarby like 5 minutes behind. He should have finished because the forfeit's gonna hurt him for qualifying.
So Fred or F. Coughlin finishing up in 2:14.44 in 41st place.
He could unforfeit if he decides to continue. You can do undone or something and continue. So there's Carcat finishing up. He's in that block with right after Fred. Then Cranston just finished it. So Carcat getting the coveted 42nd place. This is 42nd out of 150 people. He's in the top third. Like, we are still watching people in the top portion because there's so many runners. Yeah, S Diesel's someone we can pull in. Maybe Feasel we can watch S Diesel. Oh, Zarby just hit the problem I had with the sprite despawn. Oh my gosh, the dot duns. Oh, it's just the same guy did it twice.
Just wanted to be doubly sure he's finished.
Yeah, and for some reason it gave him 46 instead of 40, tied for 45th. Let me.
Oh no, we have Zygarde finished in 45th with 2:15.50, and Dragon Master finished 2:15.50. So there was another tie there. So the winner of this race was Gem, followed closely by Gerdo and TGH. Those were the top three.
And we'll see how many of them decide to do the next qualifier. They might decide, hey, I did well, but with how close everyone seems to be in this race, like we didn't have anyone come like really far ahead, so they might race again just to try to improve their Z score. So you want that bigger difference between the average time.
Sakura making her way up into Gauntlets. I think we're working on switching out the other 3 streams now. I think actually we might be ending here. Just waiting to see what's going on here.
Yeah. Suggestions are welcome. Well, Fiesel's looking for some suggestions.
I mean, at this point, we still don't even have a third of the races finished. I think Phantom Ryu. Let me have a look.
So we have 53 people are done so far. Only 1/3 of the way through. Are you watching, like, are you pulling them up on SRL or something to see who's still in it?
Yeah, I'm trying to. My laptop is pretty poor, so it's really difficult for me to load multiple streams.
Have Christus do karaoke. There's your request.
I haven't had nearly enough alcohol for that to happen.
Slim Kirby, 54th.
Yeah, they're still rolling in these finishes. ML and Can fighting up Ganon here. It's interesting seeing all the different sprites that come up. Everyone playing with their different favorites. So chat, if you have any questions about anything, feel free to ask them now, and we'll try our best to answer them.
Yeah, we can talk about...
Like open mode, anything about the tournament.
I mean, who's excited? We're going to see a ton more links to pass on this channel and the other related channels. So, if you have not given a follow to this channel, SpeedGaming 2, and Speedruns Live, make sure you give a follow to all of those tournament channels, and you'll see not just Link to the Pass, but every tournament that we happen to run. Tell me about Z-scores. I leave that to Christos. He explains it.
So we have multiple qualifying races, and we need to standardize the results of people who enter more than one. So the Z-score looks at the standard deviation of each race individually, and uses that to normalize everyone's time to give them a score. And then depending on how many races people join, we take the mean or the average of their Z-score or Z-score across all races. It's a fair way to kind of deal with the problem of multiple races, and with something of such high variance as a randomizer, where obviously you can't directly compare two seeds together. So there's a few kind of caveats around that. Anyone who forfeits won't impact the standard deviation of the total race result, but they will be penalized. And then whatever the worst Z-score is, they will be having that plus a little extra for forfeiting. So forfeits will impact the player who forfeits, but nobody else. The people who have already pre-qualified will not be impacting the results either. They're just going to be excluded. And we actually did some test analysis to see kind of the correlation between joining more than one race and performing better. And it actually interestingly showed that if you join more races, you're not necessarily more likely to increase your performance, because every race you join, you can either improve it or, you know, do worse. It's a gamble, it's a risk.
Mm-hmm.
But we needed to have multiple races simply because, you know, there's a lot of people interested in this, nearly 300, and with the amount of different time zones, just having kind of one qualifier race wouldn't work if, you know, you have to work that day or whatever. And unfortunately, due to the popularity, the tournament's limited to 100 people. So we needed some kind of method to narrow people down. Hopefully that answered the question about that. Somebody asked about sprites as well. So the randomizer website, which I've just posted, that's where you generate kind of your randomizer seed. There's a little button at the top right called ROM settings, looks like a cog. If you click on that, then all the currently available sprites are available there, and you can just choose which one you want. We have a Discord where development gets done and kind of all the community hangs out and races get scheduled there pretty much all day, every day, essentially. Yep. And, you know, there's a huge team of people working on adding and developing new sprites. So if you want to see, like, one of your favorite things in there, like Tingle, perhaps, Jet, you just have to let somebody know, or, you know, contribute yourself.
Hey, I thought Tingle was a choice already.
I don't think we're ever going to find out the true identity behind that sprite. Yeah, so like Bukal, the person who finishes first in the qualifier, would it be wise for them to keep it be their only race? Yes, essentially. But then it gives people who do badly in their first race a small chance that they can still qualify.
Garfield is a what? There's a sprite choice for Garfield. Someone made Garfield.
Of course, yeah.
Invisible
Yeah,
Man,
we've got Mog. There's Frog. So Mog from Final Fantasy. There's
Kirby. I haven't tried that one yet.
Oh, by the way, we've had a huge amount of duns in the last like 8 minutes or so, and we're now up to 73rd place. So people have just completely steamed in. This is like, I guess, the middle of the pack.
Yeah, we're finally reaching about the halfway point here, with I think 143 entrants or something like that. So we just crossed the threshold, if that were the case. At 225, note they're only about 30 minutes behind first place, and that is when we finally reach the halfway point. And Sakura just finished it up at 75th. At 225.27. How did all these people get silvers? Senpai, silvers were in Swamp, and a lot of people
were still looking for Ice Rod when they were in there.
Yeah, so they did that before they went to get Ice Rod. What is going on? What happened on Phantom Ryu's side? He... What?
I don't know. The door could be open, it just looks like it's closed, perhaps? Has he tried to go? No, I'm not sure what happened there, actually.
Soft lock. Well, maybe he'll do right. No. He had a small key. Could have done right. Does anyone know? So if I run another qualifier, does it replace this averages or not count this? We have a question in SRL that maybe you can answer.
Okay, yeah, so that's the... Yeah, average. Oh, he went back for the key, is what he was doing there. We have Herfy Durfy.
Let's see.
You get to see his little gif in the corner. That's
people are in spoilers. They're chatting about this one. Sure, there's a lot to say. Yeah, all dungeons required. All 3 pendant dungeons had something that was needed. So, and Aghanim. Aghanim was also... This was an all-dungeon run. You had to do all dungeons. Let's see who we got. Herfy Durfy hitting the right-hand side of Ganon's Tower. Aaron Doby finishing up. Mages finishing up Turtle Rock. Gonna head on over to Ganon's Tower now. When are you... Senpai, you had to do the pendant dungeons. Everyone did. We watched Gerdo, who came in second, do all of the pendant dungeons. I mean, it's hard enough that you would have had to make a call like in Eastern, get Master Sword and leave. And Bombos was at Lammola, so you're going to beat it anyway.
I think, wasn't the Master Sword at Amos, anyway?
Was it?
I can't quite remember. I think it was.
And that's the case, you're gonna beat them. The only one you could have left early was Thieves after getting 2 things that are worth. The tournament, so after qualifying, we have the Swiss round. The Swiss stage, sorry, and that's going to be all the runners get 1 race per week. You can talk about it, Chris, because I don't really know.
Yeah, sure thing. Let's see. Once the tournament actually kicks off, it starts Monday, the 25th. Just double check that date. Yes, 25th of September of this month. There's 3 rounds to the tournament. There's a Swiss stage, followed by a group stage, and then followed by a final bracket, single elimination bracket. So the Swiss stage is going to narrow down the 100 people to around 30... How many people going into the bracket? 36, is it? 34?
Like 34, and then there's going to be like 6 wildcards or something.
Yeah, that's it. So there's going to be 6 weeks of Swiss rounds where every player will play one other person. And then the way Swiss works is if you win your first match, then your second match will be against somebody else who won the first match. And then everyone who wins 2 games will play everybody else who wins 2 games, etc. So you should end up playing, like by the middle of the Swiss round, you should start playing people of similar ability to you. So the majority of the spots are going to be filled up just by, who comes top of that. But there's going to be a wildcard race to fill up the 6 spots of people who are all tied at 3 wins, I believe, and 3 losses. So that's going to be a really interesting race to watch. Once we have the top 40, we go into the group stage, which is, I think, 8 groups. And they are just playing everyone else in their group. I think it's just 1, not best of 3 there. And then the top 2 from each group advance to the brackets. And then once we have the bracket stage, it's best of 3, all the way through, including the final.
Well, and the tournament winner, I think it says it somewhere in here. Like you're essentially like pre-qualified, of course, for the next tournament. And I think your name's going to be put in the game. Yes,
indeed. So the winner of the previous tournament, Ben or Ajneb, he is already in this game. If you go into Houlihan room and check the Sahasrara tile, it's got a little plaque there, and it says like a list of tournament winners.
Spoilers! We were supposed to let people. He's somewhere in the game. His name is somewhere. You gotta search for it.
I didn't realize that was such a secret.
I don't know.
Well, I've ruined everything. Sorry, everybody. But yeah, so your name's going to get added there. You will pre-qualify into the next tournament automatically as well.
It looks like the top 8 are guaranteed entry into the next tournament. They're going to be offered a chance to participate in some exhibition matches. And of course, the winner and runner-up get your name added somewhere in the game.
And it won't necessarily all be there. So winners of this tournament could be anywhere.
Ooh. And same thing with the Overflow. Even with the Overflow tournament, top 4 are going to be guaranteed entry, and the winner's going to be added somewhere in the game. So, yeah, even if you just get into the Overflow tournament, there's still going to be plenty of good runners. It's going to be a tough competition. It's just not going to be restreamed as all because there's so many people running. So many people are interested.
And question from Iceman. Are we going to get to see qualified tables so we can see the Z scores in action? Yes. I think I'm going to be updating that after each race. Probably within 24 hours because they can be different times and I have other stuff on. But yeah, we're going to be able to see a cumulative or like a real-time standing leaderboard, I guess, to see where you stand between races. So we've got 91st place just finishing up, so nearly 100 people finishing here. So already people finishing up here, some of these people will not be making it in most likely.
Unless they do some more qualifiers.
Yeah, right.
And hope their routing just happens to pay off much better, and the randomizer is much nicer in that case. This seed was not nice for doing anything but like 100%. On the screen here we have Mashy just entering Turtle Rock, Herfy about the middle of Ganon's Tower, Magus is doing Ice Armors because he hasn't done the right hand side yet, which he will do after this for the big key. Phantom Maria is just heading upstairs, slightly behind Herfy.
Yeah, I don't have a link to the table right now because, until I have the first batch of results, there's nothing to show. But yeah, that we can get a link added to that in the SpeedGaming command, and it will be in the Discord and kind of everywhere. I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to know. The winner was Gem, followed by Gerdo and TGH. Those are the top 3.
'74th is the top 87 people are going to get in, so technically 74 you could get in, and we had like people like Andy who already pre-qualified. They were in this race as well, so you think you're about 70th. 87 people are going to move forward, but the way the Z-score is calculated, I don't know. I guess you'll, Christos, since you'll get to see it in action, you can just watch it there and maybe consider doing another race if you feel like you want to improve your standing. We've got a lot of hate going on in the comments here in SRL. People are frustrated.
That comment made me laugh. I hate myself right now. Who cares about the seed?
Yep. Like, 9th should be safe, but I feel like the way the seed was, with how close everything is, that you're not gonna, the deviation is gonna be small. So I don't know. Just pay attention to whatever Krista shows and decide if you should run again. The seed was easier than entrance shuffle. Is that really saying much, though?
Finished in 69th place. New Dolphin taking 97th.
Alright, we're getting to our top 100 here.
I think there's 150 something.
I thought it was like 143.
Oh, maybe it was slightly under.
I cannot. I'm certainly not going to count the dot entrance list. There's just too many. So the seed to get, you did not have to do fake flippers. It was all about getting into Eastern, getting the Master Sword, and going to kill Aghanim. After you kill Aghanim, you continue into Pod to get flippers. So the progression was get Master Sword, go kill Aghanim, go in Pod, get flippers, then take flippers to Waterfall Ferry. That was the whole progression. Of course, people who skipped it could have benefited if they decided to do Pod later on, which is what we saw problems in real life too. Gerdo did not do that, but he was able to continue right after doing Pod. He just moved forward to go to the left-hand side of Dark World. So he didn't have to backtrack to go do the Waterfall Ferry, which is nice. Oh, I should say you had to go to Waterfall Ferry to get the glove to go up to Death Mountain to get Hookshot. Man, what a mess of a seed.
Which then directly led to Fire Rod, yeah.
I just love that Turtle Rock was a required double dip. That was enjoyable.
'98th place.
Ooh, Herfy,
Who's going to get 100th?
Okay, he has a potion. Okay, it might be Herfy. He's getting into the second round here.
Oh no, Meg. She's just taking a death there. That's unfortunate.
Claris.com, 99th. Alright, 100th is up for grabs. People. And normally this would be randomizers wrapping up, the tournament weeklies wrapping up, but now, nope.
Double dipping Turtle Rock is about as enjoyable as stubbing your toe on your coffee table and tripping and falling through the glass. Phantom Ryu heading into Ganon here with Tempered and presumably Silvers. Yo, Quiz Bowl taking 100th place.
And Herfy Durfy 101. Oh no. By 4 seconds. Still got the snipes going on. I don't think we saw you on the screen, Space Cowboy?
It's really hard to know. Not everyone was showed because people kept finishing in such quick succession.
Yeah. So we tried to pull people who had a while to go, but yeah, it's tough. Alright, Mashi did not do right. Gonna go to the left-hand side. Magus is making his way back up. Quizball hoping his top 100 gets him in. While landing on a thumbtack under your thumbnail to continue that double dipping TR comment. Use the old man, but he doesn't dash. Why would you do that? Could you imagine if he actually dashed how, you carry him? And then but it still bonks. Like, you can still bonk. It's just that's it.
What I think would be interesting is if certain sprites had different, like, character attributes. Obviously, that aren't enabled in races. But, like, if you could play through with some, like, abilities the sprites are meant to have from the original games, that would be really fun.
Yeah.
Like the old man being slow, for example.
Spelunky. I like Spelunky as the game.
Phantom Ryu finishing up here. 103rd place. Getting sniped by 5 seconds.
Hey, Billy Mays here. Billy Mays in 102. Look at these snipes. Still. 104. So what do we have? It's attacks? What? I don't know how to say his name. And the other Jet Ab. Spoilers on Discord. 629 new messages. Yeah, people are talking about this one. I sort of wish I was able to pay attention to it, but not with 4 racers going.
There's a lot to talk about with this race.
Oh yes, this seed had some interesting decisions there. I wonder how many people actually did the fake flippers sequence break. Vitor saying the old man can't use lamp because he eternally lost it. So old man is essentially a challenge mode. Like that's what he would be. Because people like that sort of thing. Jet Ab finishing at 105. Evanidis 106. JK Carlton 107. Let's see. We have Mages about to fight Aghanim here. Zelna's TV.
Not to be confused with the Zelna.
Wait, who is Zelna's TV?
Presumably that's just Zelna's. I think there's 2 Zelnas. Yeah, that's just Zelna's. He's been really active lately. He's a voice from SRL and he's been racing loads. Oh no. Moldom having some fun with Zithatsa.
Yeah, I've seen Zelna's. I wasn't sure if that is the Zelna's or if that was...
It must be. I think his IRC name must be different to his Twitch name.
Yeah. So we just saw 109 finish up, Hacksaw. So we'll see if mages can get in there for the 110. Nope. Spoiler alert. Sabotender has finished. Moldorm hugs, the best kind of hugs. Safety strats from Zelda's there.
$111th just finished.
I forgot I had bow at one point. That must mean they tried to go into pod and then thought they couldn't. That's a name, Wef Jebster. 112. Let's see, mages, don't fall. To the Mario. Wow, he was able to get that Ganon freeze like right away.
Hey, ooh, that was so close to being knocked off there.
Alright, Mages finished 113th, and he actually sniped Zeplar and Zebra Unicorn. The fanfare snipes. So... is it Exacx?
How many people we got left? Let's have a look.
I don't know how to say his name. Exacx? But he's going into Ganon right now. Oh, good. I'm glad to see some more custom sprites. I'm actually surprised at all the people we've been pulling in, and only maybe about half are actually using the custom sprites.
I'm happy to see Zitas. We just took a death here.
Look at that death, though. That we got to see the death sprite.
Yeah, good old Roy Cooper.
That's nice. And this
My
is the
favorite
blue
sprite.
shell, blue tunic one. So it looks like he is a different shape than Zelda, or Link. Zelda. Both. He's a different shape than both. So are you just used to using him now for like the bomb jumps and stuff if he's your favorite?
Yeah, I mean, I use all of my visual cues, and the shadow's in the same place.
Yeah.
So it's not so bad.
We also have the Minish Cap Link. Or is that... no, that's the Four Swords Link, not Minish Cap.
There's a Minish Cap Link as well, though. I think both are in now.
Right, but the one that Zelda's is using.
Yeah, that is Minish Cap, right? It might be even Four Swords Adventures. I don't know. The Zelda's
Alright,
well
chat,
enough.
if you know, let us know. But he does have Red Tunic. So he did grab that Spectacle Rock one. Alright. His attacks exacts 120th. So we have 120. About 30 people left still. Patty wants a... do we have an image? There's an image... oh, where do we have that? I don't know. I watched Fruit Bats' tutorial, and he shows it on there, and I think he has a link to that there. I know Cross Product has included it with his tracker, so if you get his tracker, he actually has the Ice Palace bomb jump picture.
I can try and describe it. It's fairly easy to describe, I think. So, Patty, you want to have 1 pixel of the little spikes showing when you're lining up vertically, and you can just line up with the left-hand side of the block, and then you place your bomb and just move right a little bit. But I don't
Honestly,
know a convenient image for it.
I feel like once you sort of do it once, you get a feel for it. Like, I can easily see when I'm right and wrong, because I know what to look for at a glance, like which pixels I'm looking at, based on how I line up.
Well, Paddy, the horizontal pixel isn't precise. There's like a bunch that will work.
Yeah.
So just don't just go over like a bunch, but not too far.
It's so precise. I can just picture it in my head based on the way you're describing it, Christos.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's got it first time. Easy. We're describing a bomb jump in Ice Palace where you normally have to hookshot across a gap.
It's very nice for, I mean, any percent runs, but also in the randomizer when you just need to beat the boss. It saves a lot of time. I wouldn't recommend it as the first trick to pick up. If you're new to randomizer, it's best just to learn the game, get a feel for where all the chests are so you know where to look. But like eventually it's a good trick to pick up in your arsenal. Same thing as like doing dark rooms and knowing how to do fake flippers. And fake flippers is very easy. There's actually a very easy lineup to do. That's pretty much buffered inputs. It's not like it's like a frame perfect trick or anything. I mean, I still don't know how to do a pod bomb jump. I really need to learn that.
That one's a little bit trickier. You need to place the bomb on one pixel and then move to another one. But you have a time constraint from the bridge. That's the difference there.
So what? Like move a little to the left, a little down. Perfect.
It's not too useful in randomizer.
It's useful when you can't get mirror. Like today, actually, it would have been really useful to get through pod faster because he didn't have mirror. So you could do the left-hand side, swing up to the north, and then come south after you do the Four Turtles room and the U with the rupees. So we have 123 done. Where are we at in the race? Vasco's, oh no, taking a death to Ganon. That's why you always fake flips. Well, not quite. But it really depends on like where you're standing. Today it was a harder call because our racers were missing boots for a while, so it's like you had to walk all the way over there to do fake flippers.
And when you were there originally, nobody had the pearl, conveniently.
Right.
So you couldn't even utilize it for the waterfall cave, and you'd have to go back separately to do that. Was this bad seed pre-planned? It was picked completely at random.
Close one for Zelda's there. Okay, he is not syncing up the torches, and it's hurting him. Is one more hit to go. There you go.
Vasco's almost catching up there.
That was after a fall, a death to Ganon. And there goes Vasco's 127th. Wow. Only 12 seconds behind, so that death actually cost him a place.
Comment never again.
No, a fall for the three ducks. So if you are we restreaming the other qualifiers? Do you know?
Not 100% sure, actually.
Well, if you're interested in running, and maybe keep your eyes on this channel or SpeedGaming too, which you should anyway, because it's fun. Entertaining. So tomorrow at 9:30? 9 a.m. Eastern is our next qualifying race. Early in the morning for the US, but a decent time for those in Europe. Oh, well, there you go. It's in the command.
We thought of everything. So we're nearly at the 3-hour mark here. 129th rolling in at 254.
I like how Zora, it's some sword for sale. Because it's a progressive sword. It could be anything.
Right, right.
September 2nd. September 22nd is a Friday. September 2nd is in the past.
Numerous Arrow finishing up in 255.
Interesting. I think Mashy purposely took a death just to refill, but you can actually just let the fairy out of the bottle.
But then what if the fairy runs away and then you die? I've seen that happen to somebody before.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, release the fairy to go grab it, but then get hit by something and die before you get the fairy.
We got 131 done. Just finished up. Mashy almost done here. 3 Ducks almost done here. This is definitely sort of see where you could get stuck with Master if you just happen to miss.
Yeah, so for those
They're very far out of the way.
We had a sword upgrade at Purple Chest and a sword upgrade at Zora. So 2 locations that people might not necessarily have checked particularly early.
So Mashy and 3 Ducks just finished right next to each other again. So that's the 133rd.
I think we got about 20 people, maybe just under 20 people to go. 15 or so, I think. I guess I can actually take a look and give you a more precise number.
150 exactly. Yeah.
We've got 8 people left.
Oh, because of the forfeits as well. Good point. We've gone on for about 3 hours now. The seed itself took like 2 hours.
Yeah, getting only 6 people sub 2 is... that's something.
BBB Drill. Pampu. Wamboss, who's in Turtle Rock right now.
Looks like we're going to get the three people rolling in here pretty quickly. They're all on Ganon.
Yep, there goes Pampu now at 134th. So we have Wamboss and so Arboritic just finished Turtle Rock, gonna head into Ganon's Tower. Giant no hints thing.
Just finishing up here.
So we don't give him any hints. It looks like he's using Cross Products Tracker, which includes a handy dandy map. which is great for new runners. So it can sort of give you an idea of where you can still check given what items you have. So we have a couple of trackers. We have Cross Products Tracker. Zarby has his tracker. So in general, I feel like having a tracker is useful when you run these randomizers. Keep track of what you have, what you still need, because you can look at it at a glance.
Yeah, there's definitely a few trackers out there which are extremely useful for when you're first getting into this. When I first started, I used to have like a notepad file open with some notes and stuff until
yes.
got used to how many items were in each dungeon and how many chests there are and all that kind of thing.
Alright, we have 2 more and Ganon. Fighting Ganon right now, and then Arbortic, as we mentioned, doing right-hand side first.
Which we know is going to give him the big key. And then Wamboss taking a death there, but it's fine because he took the safety door. So should be able to go and clear up Trinex, no issues. Yeah, I think the majority of people pulled the Master Sword at this point. So we have 6 people left. Beedrill just finishing up here, and Mafia Guido finishing up. So we will shortly be seeing the final 4 entrants of the race. Or less even. Somebody else just finished who's not being broadcast here. So Demon RHK coming in 136th. 3 hours and 1 minute. So that's the first person to take longer than 3 hours there. That's when you know it's a really rough seed.
Yeah.
Guido, is that pronounced differently?
Mafia Guido.
Guido, there we go.
Wait, did I actually say a name correctly? Because I've heard it. Alright, BB Drill. I don't know if you mentioned that yet. He just finished 137th. Mafia's finishing up here.
So 4 runners left.
There we go. Makes it easy for Feasel now. Malthase. Thank you, Enda King. That's right. I know how to pronounce all names incorrectly.
Raspberry Floof.
Oh, okay. Change of plans. And Mafia just finished up as well. At 138th. Oh, good. We have another custom sprite coming in. Mafia was silverless too, wasn't he? Oh, Malthase forfeited. Malthase is racing without a stream. What? Joe Bot.
He could have been live at the beginning, and since lost connection, perhaps.
And I know something we're doing for this tournament is that if you do participate in the races, make sure you have the recording going. Like, I know OBS is very easy to make a recording with, but in case, internet goes out or something, people need to see the results. So you always make sure you have a recording so that way it can be verified later. Oh, look! There's the blind tile room check.
What is that bunny sprite meant to
That's
be?
weird. I don't even know what the sprite is in general. It's
is
like...
that Vardy? Is that Minish Cap Link?
No.
No?
It looks like a floof. It doesn't look like it's a person. It looks like just a blob head to me. I love this. I love custom sprite. I want to see someone racing with the invisible sprite, like during an actual tournament race.
It's Rumia from a game I've never played.
Rumia? What is a Rumia? I'm gonna look it up
Rumia?
right now.
I'm probably butchering the name. Rumia.
Yeah, don't ask. Oh, so it is a girl with blonde hair. Okay, you just can't really see. Oh, Toho again, another Toho. What is? Is there like a fan of Toho, like, and making all these sprites?
Maybe they're just slowly plotting to take over this game. Version 30 is going to have all the original Zelda characters removed. You have to choose like a Pokemon or like...
That's right. Dude, Bomberman Tingle for me. I mean...
We all know you're the one who requested that sprite.
Oh no! Raspberry Floof mirrored without getting the small key.
Ouch.
That's dangerous. I don't know if there was a small key up there, because I didn't see anyone open the chest, but if it's not up there, they're going to have to do this dungeon twice. And this is how you learn the hard way to never do this.
Hold on. Oh no, just having a bit of trouble with this. I thought that it was pausing to think about where to go. Or about the keys. Instead, we're having some fun with the tiles. Okay, if Arb opens up the chests, we will see if there's a key, but we don't.
I mean, we could actually see a situation where Wham catches up, if Wham actually gets the small keys. Dark Shadows, I don't think your stream was featured. So do you know if there... No, I think we should find out together if a small key is up there.
So these are the last three runners left now. Wamboss, Raspberry, and Arboretic.
We do have a fall from Arboretic to Moldorm. But right now he is in the lead.
Did Problems qualify? It's hard to say because all the races aren't finished, but he finished in a good position, so it's likely he will be fine. I think he was in like the top 10, wasn't he? Or thereabouts? 17th. He finished 17th. He should be fine.
A little dangerous for Arboretic here. 2 hearts. I have no idea if he has any backup.
Oh no, it made him go quick. Okay, he's fine.
Raspberry Floof is a character from Toho. Rumia. I'm like, I'm pronouncing these names that are clearly not English. It's a bad idea. I can't even pronounce English names, so it's like...
I like Rumaya. Sounds a bit more exotic.
Alright, Arboretic. Okay, has Fairy, has a blue potion, no problem.
We just gotta see if we can get Wamboss to catch up.
Oh no, I'm a little worried for Raspberry Floof there, not getting that small key.
Oh, Arboretic! Taking a death on Aghanim too.
But he has a fairy. It's alright. That's why we did the check.
A real pain. Oh, did he already check to see if he had one?
Yeah.
Ah, I missed it.
Oh no, no arrows for Wham Boss, so unless there's arrows in one of these chests, he's gonna have to farm some for Ganon. A mushroom. It was a mushroom down there. And it looks like he's gonna go over to the room, and oh no, it's just fairies in that room. There's some arrows in that fairy room after the Ganon, Cannonball Bridge, right? I think there's some arrows in there.
He
doesn't have silvers.
It's a long way round to go and get arrows. You'd have to go all the way to the room before.
Apparently, Wham Boss did not get silver, so...
If they have the shovel, they could go outside and try digging.
What even is that? I had mushroom. Oh yeah, you need arrows. That's a good point. You can't go up there without arrows. Alright, Arboritic. Taking on Ganon with the Tempered Sword. Yeah, it's going to be funny watching the tournament races, and we're going to have commentators try to figure out what the sprites are.
Yeah.
Like today is not an isolated case. Alright, one more fairy and a blue bottle.
Wham Boss just... Oh, okay. He just left the room after waiting for the tiles, but before getting the chest.
Oh, I didn't know you could actually do that. I guess it's because of the falling hand.
Yeah, there's 5 races in total. This is the first of 5 qualifiers. The other 5 are happening throughout the next 7 days.
Wham Boss just missed it. Luckily, there's a full magic there, so he can pick that up and try again.
For the races out there.
Oh, but he gets grabbed.
Yeah, you are still free to join any of the upcoming qualifiers.
Well, he's gonna have to get.
There too.
He might need to pull. Uh oh. Raspberry Floof. Open the 2 chests. No small key yet. There's one more chest. And if it's not there, they're gonna have to mirror back to the beginning. This is it. This is where we learn.
No, it's a map.
It's the map. This is why you get that small key.
So Wham Boss and Raspberry are going to have an interesting race here. Oh no, Wham Boss having trouble with this. Yeah.
Like, you have to go fast, but I mean, you can make some mistakes. It's just that he keeps missing with the fire rod, so... Okay, here we go. This looks good. You got over there, you got over there. Just go. Nice. Okay, Arboritic. Doing his... So the trick with Ganon is you want to dodge his fire bat shot first before you hit him. Of course, that is especially true when you're doing a silverless try. With silvers, maybe you can hit him quickly enough. Anyway, that's a done for Arboritic at 139th. So we're watching Wham Boss and Raspberry Floof in their quest to get 140th. Whose idea was the seed? Is Arboric's comment. So Wham Boss, lacking arrows, has to go farm some. There's a 10 arrow drop. Whoops. Getting potions, okay. I mean, he also has a shovel, so he could just pick it up.
I'm not sure if he knows about that, though.
Shovel?
Well, yeah, being able to dig up. It's obviously not something you can do in the original.
It's definitely useful to know what are under different pots. You just sort of get a feel for like where the small hearts are, and it's also good to know where like the bombs and arrows are in case, especially in dungeons like Ganon's Tower, where it's required. You sort of, as you play through the randomizer, you get a feel like what's here and like, oh, okay, I can get arrows here or something like that. And then you also get a feel for what your count is at certain points in the game. So like, I'm checking my arrow count in Turtle Rock because I know I'm going to be coming up to Ganon's Tower. And I'll also have a feeling like, okay, I know I need, let's say I don't have silvers, so you're going to need like 8 upstairs, but there's a place to get 5 up there. You're going to need 18 against Armos. So you get a feel for the numbers, and then you know like how close are you if you need to farm them or not. And it's good to check in Turtle Rock because there's a couple of locations you can just get them. So you get used to it when you do the randomizer a lot.
And to Ganon with just the shovel. Well, you can beat the game with absolutely 0 items. Just walk through the walls with EG.
Easy. So that's something to see. Any kind of glitch race, and then you really get to see people pull out the stops. Magus, you were on stream. We watched you for a little bit. As we approach the end here, I do want to give a final reminder to drop some follows on the different SpeedGaming, SpeedGaming 2, Speedruns live channels. Give a follow to any runners you might have seen today. If you feel like watching some more Link to the Past rando runs, give a follow to Christos.
And to Jet082. So Wamboss is just realizing his predicament.
There he goes. No arrows. So
Meanwhile,
he didn't realize.
He's getting 10 arrow drops on the screen above.
So the reason Wamboss didn't pick up the arrows is probably because he didn't realize it. That's a shame. You know, it's like I feel like you don't really have to pay attention to bombs too much in Randomizer. In the beginning, it matters, but
right,
like,
yeah,
you get so many.
Get, like, if you in open, as soon as you have a weapon and you have like 5 bombs, that's generally enough. You're gonna find some elsewhere, and there are pots and stuff. I'm not sure if Wamboss knows who is getting bumped around.
Okay, then they waited long enough for the sprite despawn. So if you go up the stairs, the moment the door closes, that's how you despawn the rest of the tower here. We really don't want that.
Pedestal was
one
not
heart.
required, but 2 of the dungeons were. Every dungeon was required to go into.
I hope they have a fairy.
Ooh.
Oh
No! If he lands on a spike.
Oh. No magic powder at all. That's curious. I wonder where that was.
Oh, Wamboss has powder. I just saw it in his menu.
Oh, okay.
Good clean kill there the second time.
$10 bomb upgrade.
It's just what you want before Ganon.
It's true. Oh. The fourth? Okay.
Okay, this is very good.
The sword upgrades, of course, the one in Link's house and Eastern, those are required. Zora had a sword. Purple Chess had a sword upgrade.
Do you know what's quite funny about this? Is that this started out really nicely with a sword in Link's house and plenty of bombs. And then it quickly turned sour.
And I want to say that room that Raspberry Floof just went through stinks when you don't have boots. It is the worst.
Okay, Wamboss has found himself 10 arrows, so he gets to start the sent up GT now. Yeah, it was interesting where the swords were. 2 of the upgrades, as you said, were in places that people, you know, you're not going to prioritize going to Zora unless you happen to have enough rupees and you did the whole loop. And you're not going to prioritize Purple Chest, especially given you didn't have access to the mirror very early in this at all.
So the trick with Aghanim, or at least what I like to do, is that I line up where I want the shots to be, usually close to Aghanim, and then I'll back up after they fire the shots, so that way they go to where I was, and then I'm standing a bit further back so I can hit it directly at Aghanim. That's what I tend to do. There's also a spin strat, which is very similar. You just spin instead of slash.
Yeah, that lineup.
Alright, that is a Raspberry Floof finished off Aghanim, so now they just have Ganon. Wamboss has arrows, is past the point where they need arrows, so just gotta make it through Ganon's Tower. And as I think Christos mentioned earlier, there's races all the time in the Link to the Past community. They're organizing one right now, a salty run back for... which always happens after the weeklies, because, you know... I'm actually gonna eat dinner after this, otherwise I would probably participate. It's always fun. You just hop in a channel and someone's going to be organizing a race. A standard, an open, bingo, entrance.
Yeah, there's so many variations.
See this fairy fountain, but here you go. It's a nice one right by Link's house, and that means, especially if you killed Aghanim, you can just go right up. What did they do? What? They have a lot of bottles. Blind pedestal pull hype. So Sakura finally added her comment. She didn't want to spoil it, making sure the remaining runners are in Ganon's Tower, so it's no spoil. To say that, yep. Oh, ACM did Ice Palace twice.
Looks like he ran out of magic, I think.
He doesn't say.
So, Raspberry Floof hopefully has a clean Ganon here, although just stocked up with fairies, so...
They have silvers.
Problems. Yeah, exactly.
They have tempered. Lots of fairies. Should be no problems. I know that was something in V18 I've noticed, that there was a big difference between people who knew how to do silverless Ganon versus people who did. So... Wait, I might have said the same thing twice. People who didn't know how to do it versus people who did. And that's actually a sizable difference, because if you're constantly searching when you're in go mode, that could hurt. And I feel like with the distribution now, you'll tend to find silvers more often, that it's become less of an issue. And I know, like, the other day when I had to do a silverless Ganon, I'm like, it's been a while for me. It's really weird, because I feel like I have silver so often now.
Yeah, it's rare not to have them, just because you're searching so much of the game generally now. Oh no. Oh, I thought Raspberry was about to fall.
Yeah. Definitely just playing it safe. sometimes is okay in Ganon. Like it costs a lot of time falling Ganon or dying. But Raspberry Floof has finished up. They are 1/40th person, 3 hours 24 minutes. So that's about an hour and a half difference from our first place. Oh no, did Wham? Okay, Wham's okay.
Has a key. Has the map now for extra security.
So you know where to find.
He knows how to finish the dungeon now.
Alright, Moldorm is dead. That was actually a pretty quick Moldorm, too.
Yeah, Wambos has done pretty well actually coming up the tower. Once he had the arrows, it's been...
Oh, disrespect. And the opening... Spending bombs to get a bomb upgrade. Oh, man. You know, it's only become a thing because of our last tournament. Like, I don't think anyone paid any attention to the chest before. And now disrespecting it is a thing.
Generally, I like to open it anyway. Sometimes it can have, like, Sanctuary Heart or a Heart Piece, which is your 4th one for a refill. Or it can have just, like, some useful item.
I mean, it's not that much of a time use.
It's like a second or something.
But it is nice if you don't have silvers or sword or something. And it's like, well, maybe. You see,
if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask them now. This will be wrapping up once Wham Boss finishes Ganon here.
It's a decently fast Aghanim. He was doing the spin strats, sort of lining them up, batting them into Aghanim there. It's pretty good. Yeah, this is only the first qualifier all, and what a way to start this off. So you know what kind of seeds we're going to be looking for during the tournament just because of this.
Yeah, I'm not sure many of the runners will be happy with this seed, which is unfortunate. It was quite a difficult one to start things off.
Honestly, we did not see as many forfeits as usual. Like, I feel like on the weeklies, forfeits are just a thing. People, you know, they get tired of racing or something like that. This time, maybe because of the qualifiers, they don't want to, you know, hurt their Z-score that much.
Exactly.
So, although we did have some forfeits, not that many. It's pretty good for a weekly. Honestly, it's hard to
finish in the race. Yeah, it's difficult to say.
I feel like the average for this race is going to be, like, I feel like a lot of people are going to be close to average on this race. So, depending on the people who sign up for another race, like whether they do worse or better, like it could really make a difference. So, I mean, top 20, top 30 are probably okay, but definitely pay attention. It's the first qualifier. If you don't feel comfortable, then go again. We might have less people in the other qualifiers. Looks like Kong says the average of everyone is 2 hours, 26 minutes. So you see, we had our first place at like 151, 154, something like that. So not that much of a difference from all the runners. The explosions sleeps again.
It's good text.
Not getting the...
Oh, we got blocked by the fire bat there. Fire on fire.
Wham doesn't have silvers and missed the lantern. Ooh.
Oh, he doesn't have silvers? Oh, no.
You really want to get the lantern glitch. Because it's just going to eat up through your magic.
I'm not sure.
He doesn't know how to do silvers.
Yeah, this is rough.
he might choose to fall because Ganon does tell you where silvers are, and he mentioned swamp. So
Okay,
there he goes. There you go.
Yeah, he's gonna run out of magic, I think.
He bought some potions though. Okay,
Or
so
health.
whenever you're setting this sort of thing up, you want to make sure you dodge the bat. And what I'll do is I'll tend to be closer in the middle of the room in relation to where Ganon is. And then I'll move to the side after he throws the fire bat to do the swing. And you see Wham, like he's starting to pull that off. Do not stand near the edge when he's about to fire the fire bat, though, as that could happen. So it's all about being safe first, because a fall, especially when you're doing silverless, you're using up magic. Is he opting to go get silvers instead?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Or potentially buy more potions. Yeah, he's going down the swamp by those things.
$6 a.m. Oh, people are in California. 6 a.m. qualifier race. How about that?
Then I guess they have a 3:30 p.m. one later the same day.
Yeah. 5:30 Eastern.
Yeah, for California that will be 3:30, no? Or is
2:30.
Okay. Oh yeah, 3 hours apart, right, yeah. That makes sense.
So yeah, the next race, 9 a.m. tomorrow. Wait, Vitor, why are you asking? Oh, Vitor tricked me again.
Wham boss, take my energy.
Alright, we're rooting for him. He's gonna do this with silvers. Hey, I want to get in on this.
I'm not sure how much the swamp was checked earlier, so hopefully... Yeah,
we got a thing going on in chat now. This is happening.
Yeah. Wham boss is powered up.
I mean, the other bosses were pretty clean. It's just that if you don't practice... Oh, he must have been in go mode.
Yeah, he must have found silvers and then just breezed through here. Wham boss is looking for silvers. He knows they're in swamp because he got Ganon to the final phase, but then had trouble killing him.
So that heart's going to be useful. So if you don't practice silverless, like it takes a little bit to sort of get the timing down. You definitely want to practice the lantern glitch, which is not that bad. You can just spam the lamp glitch. You can just spam the lantern, like as soon as it's about to go out, and it goes out right after the last tile falls. So the moment when you see it start falling, you just spam lantern, you're gonna get it. And lantern doesn't use that much magic, especially with half magic, no problem. So just spam it, get the lantern glitch, it's gonna save you on magic, and then it's not too bad. Then you can practice doing silverless. And Wham was getting a few hits in, it's just that if you don't have the rhythm down, it can be tricky, and you can get to a situation like with what happened to Wham, where he was knocked off the edge.
Yeah, he was getting pretty close, but like a few spin attacks he was releasing, he just wasn't quite close enough.
See, well, Wham has not flooded the key yet.
Yet.
It looks like, oh no, he can't flood it because he got the small key on the right. And that's funny. Flooding keys you'll only see on Randomizer. Because normally you can't even get that key until after you get hookshot. So yeah, the right hand side, he went the boss already. You can't flood the key at this point. But yes, in general, especially if you start going this route, don't flood the key. That's another thing that you can learn the hard way. You flood the key and then you're like, oh, I'm never going to do that again.
Yeah, that's true. I guess with glitches, you could flood keys.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. But at the same time, it's still a randomizer. Like, why else would you need to check the left-hand side of glitches?
Well, if you need to get the big key. It is extremely rare anyway. Anyway, one boss is going to get some super silver energy any second here.
Wait, we changed it, a built-in way to remove... Oh man, that would stink if you flooded the key then in vanilla. There's a blue bottle.
A bonus blue potion, yeah.
And there's silver.
There they are.
I think that's 50 deaths for Raspberry Flute. But it's also, I think, saving quits, maybe?
It's combined. At least it is in the original. I actually forget what we do in Randomizer now. I think it's a combination, though. It can't be just deaths.
Now, this is sort of seed where you get mirror late, so there's actually probably going to be a lot of saving quits. What? Fat Fairy? Okay. Hey, we're going to see what the Fat Fairy has. Because why would you have checked it before? Because with Turtle Rock being one of the required dungeons for it, and you're already in Go mode, there's no real reason to go over there, but it looks like Wham's having a little bit of fun here.
Butter Sword, maybe?
Well, it's not butter. Because we know where all the swords are. Oh, you think he's looking for Butter Sword?
Yes.
I mean, he's going this way, so it's not that much of a time use.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, picked up the key by accident, though. Or, key. The bomb. So yeah, with the late mirror, you're going to see a lot of save and quits. Until you get mirror, the only way to get out of Dark World is to save and quit. Not even Sankard.
Oh no. Oh, Fairy Hill?
Sure, it can't hurt. There's an item dash. Well, no, it's not item dash. Super speed? Item? Super... I don't know what that's called. But the way to do that is if you use hookshot and dash on the same... Like, you press it at the same time. And I think you can do it at any point, but if you do it and then touch steps, you'll be put in a super speed state. I think that's how it works.
That's right.
And just typically you'll see runners do it on the ladder because you're already there, and that way the moment you leave the ladder, you'll just be put in that state. So it's a little faster than like doing it elsewhere and then touching the ladder.
Raspberry Foof has joined another race and is going straight in.
We're about to see another shovel boots, mushroom, ice rod, compass. That's a salty run back one.
No, no.
I hope he has a fairy. Yep. Okay.
We know there's a blue potion. Not sure about the rest.
He had that freebie blue potion. Oh, it already started. Oh, I missed the race. Well, a piece of heart in Link's house.
Are you good to go for the 2.0? The run back? Are we commentating it?
No. I think I'm done after this one. 4 hours is my limit. Alright, here we go. This is the fourth phase. Let's see if he gets the lantern. So you want to spend... Yeah, there he goes. He got it.
Looks like Wambus has received everybody's energy successfully.
Nice. That's a double. Oh, so you can hit a double silver as long as Ganon isn't pushed and touches the edge. Like, you can hit him again with an arrow. That's how that works. So there you go. Wham has finished. That is our tournament. 141. He finished 3 hours, 39 minutes in. So about
340.
150 difference from first place. So that is the separation here. Less than 2 hour difference between our first and last place person. So GG to all of our runners. Make sure you give them a follow. Stay tuned to this channel for more races.
The next one is tomorrow. As we said, it's kicking off at 9 a.m. EDT. And then there's another one at 5:30 p.m. EDT. So 2 tomorrow, and then there's 1 Wednesday, 1 Friday.
And you're all welcome to participate even if you didn't sign up for the qualifiers. You can still race when they do the races. It's just that it won't factor into anyone's Z-score. But, you know, you just race for fun. If you're new to this, go for it. But I think that's it for us.
Yeah.
So you can continue watching Raspberry Floof on their channel because, hey, they're doing another race.
Yeah, but I hope you all enjoyed, and I'm sure there'll be more people being rebroadcast and commentated on for the qualifiers. But thanks for watching, everyone, and shout outs to Fiesel, Myth, and everybody else on SpeedGaming for making this possible.
Yep, thank you to everyone, and see you all next time.